Okay, we're going up.
Later. See ya.
We're up.
You know what I was thinking of? I'm getting older, and I was actually thinking of giving up completely aviation.
Why?
Because
you love aviation.
I love it more than anything in the world, but I'm getting older, and I'm thinking maybe I want to convert and go all in. I don't have enough money.
What does that mean, convert and go all in?
I don't have enough money or time to do more than one passion. Right?
So what passion would you do?
I was maybe get a horse again and do horses.
Oh, ooh, really?
Yeah, but that's a whole.
Yeah, but you can't do both.
Yeah, but you're not gonna move Stephanie out to the country.
No, but I could. For what I spend on aviation, I could have a horse, board it.
Oh, that's true.
Do everything.
And board it somewhere where you can ride it all
just
the
have
time.
all my anytime I want.
Did you enjoy that as much as flying?
Almost. The only part I like more about aviation, okay, the thing I like more about horses is the thing I like more about aviation, and that is with horses, you have a real thing you can interact with. It's a pet. But that's the thing I didn't like either, because you feel guilty. See, if I don't go flying for months at a time,
you don't feel bad for your helicopter.
I don't. That's exactly right. And there's a certain amount of guilt when you don't go out and see your horse.
Yeah, but when you were in Franktown, you'd see your horse every day, of course.
Yeah, of course they do.
Does Donna still have horses?
Yeah.
Did you ever? Oh, you grew up on a farm. You guys had horses. Oh, you didn't have horses?
Yeah, they hated horses.
His dad shot dogs and hated horses.
Because he worked with horses as a kid. He worked the fields with horses. He hated it.
Wow. He was a real deal farmer, man.
He did. People offered to give us free horses. We wouldn't take them.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're not going to use them.
Well, I think us kids would have used them.
Oh, you think so? What's up, Mark? Hey, guys. How are you, man?
Great, how are you?
Did you get my last email on,
I don't know what to do about her.
What's her deal now? I thought it was totally done. All she wanted was the gutters, and now it's something else.
Again, I don't know if you remember that we did the gutters.
Yeah, I know you.
Twice.
Well, and you paid her for it.
And I still just paid for it, even if she had.
You know what? I'm done with it. I'll tell her I'm done with it. But her last email was just crazy. Should I just go out and have it done and send them the bill? I'm pretty sure our last communications, this was done.
What are you talking about? And she's just nitpicking. Again, we went.
What is Twitch, by the way? Does anyone know what Twitch is online?
Never heard of it.
No, I know.
Sounds like a dating site.
But we went out several times to do things like that with Shane.
Yeah.
And she's, no, I don't like that way. I don't, again, we put the gutters on because I don't like these gutters. They're the same ones. We'll take them off.
I got you.
And then we started installing the other ones. Oh, I don't like those either. Go back to the other ones that you ripped off.
Holy cow.
Twitch looks like a TV thing. Like Sony's, whatever it's called. Although it looks like it might be porn. That's weird. It's like live channels and stuff. I don't know what it is. Why? Who do you care? Why? What do you want, a Twitch account?
I'm just trying to figure out what it is.
It looks like a TV thing. Live channel. It looks like a YouTube. Here, there you go.
Can you send me do people have shows on there? How does that work?
Yeah, there's like.
By the way, I've been having a lot of talks. I don't want to say anything online. But a lot of talks with that major influencer I talked about. Let me tell you something, Mark. We could have a major thing there, bro. A major.
It's a bunch of channels. A lot of them are games.
Okay.
But there's actually, YouTube or
Can you get me a link to a show?
You don't want to watch a game, do you?
No. Something other than a game, if you can.
Let me see.
I got some ideas working, and I'm
top live channel.
I got some good stuff going on.
It's all games. Why would you want to watch someone play games?
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK is the number. 713-8255. And 303-MARTINO, which works 24/7. You can call anytime, anywhere. Mark, thanks for doing the show yesterday. I had fun with the Bandamere Challenge. About 35 people out there.
I thought you were going to hang it up and start drag racing.
Driving Dodge Hellcats. I wanted to say something that it was so funny when I went out there. Just to make a long story short, I went out. I was invited by Master Drive, and Master Drive and Bandimere put this on for people, for some of their people that help with Master Drive and help at Bandimere, and their crew and their help, they wanted to reward with this challenge, a fun day of challenge, drag racing, where you got on the strip side by side and did bracket racing. So the winner of that one advanced. It was a double elimination. I went undefeated to the end and did 2 runs and won the whole shooting match. Now here's the deal. When they were explaining what drag racing is, basically they said the most important thing is your reaction time. And I knew at that point I had a chance, even though I'm not a great driver, because all you have to do is go straight. They said another thing you have to do is not sway. You don't ever want to take even a couple inches and sway. In other words, you got to go a straight line to get as fast, because even a tenth of a second can be the difference. So you don't want to sway back and forth. You don't want to let off on the gas at all, and your reaction time. And those are 3 things I'm accused of doing all the time, is reacting quickly, slamming my feet on the gas, and going straight. It's my normal course. So when he said, I have a game with the kids, and I shouldn't have this game, but I do, and it is how fast I can get off the line. Now, I don't mean speed-wise, but react to a green light. I always joke with my children that when people are at a green, at a stops, a traffic light, when it turns green, how long it takes people to move. And I always get upset. Now, I don't rage and yell. It's a little game we have. We laugh. So when the light turns green and there's people in front of me, I always say, they're getting out their color charts to make sure it's green. There they go. We'll see. Is that green? Is that blue? Oh, it's green. I can move now. Then they put the color chart away and they start up the car and move. So I joke about it. And so every time we get to a red light, and there's no matter how many lanes of traffic, I always say when it turns green, I will always be the first one. And I don't mean peeling out, burning rubber. I just mean I hate when people look at their phones and are distracted on the road. So therefore, when I'm at a red light, my kids always look to see if I'm the first off the line. It's just a little joke we have. And I'm always first off the line. Not the fastest, but always first. There's always faster cars than mine, because I have my Chevy Equinox now, but I'm the first off. Anyway, because of that, when the guy said you need to be the first one off the line on the green light, is it green or red? Red, I mean. Yeah, it's actually a red, but you have to be the first one off the line. And I thought, that's going to be easy. So, sure enough, my reaction time was a tenth of a second or less every time. And I didn't know that was a big deal. Truly, I didn't. They said, oh my God, that alone is putting you in the advantage. And I have the reaction times. I didn't bring the paper in with me. But each time, my reaction, from the time the light goes red to the time I hit the end of the... They can tell your reaction time somehow. Anyway, so I won. But it wasn't because I know how to drive. It had nothing to do with driving.
And you beat like 32 people, right?
Yes, and some of those people were drivers. I mean, not professional, but they're not schlocks, man.
No, of course not. They've done it before.
Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to say it was so much fun, but it had nothing to do with driving. It had all to do with reaction time. Today I'm doing the show in honor of Genesis Total Exteriors. They're here today, and I know they're slammed, and I keep saying they're a home improvement company you don't have to worry about. We get complaints every day on contractors taking money and not doing the work. There's one thing I can say for Mark. He might be slammed. He might, take a while to finish a job because he's got so many jobs going on. I'm not saying he's slow either. I'm just saying he's honest. That's one thing I can say, that he will never steal your money ever. And he will always put his best effort into everything he does. Thank God for that. Now, there's always going to be delays and problems with construction, no matter who you have. But the one thing I can tell you is you don't have to worry about your money. And that has to be true with everyone you do business with. We get complaints about every kind of contractor there is, including professionals, attorneys, people that take money up front and don't do the work. Welcome, Mark Szymanski. Thank you for being here. We are going to talk about anything you want to talk about, but I want to start out because apparently, Mark, did you do a tease on Kaminsky's show today? Did you come up and tease our show?
Yes, I did. Yes, crossover, as we say.
Yeah, well, that's at the end of one show. We talk about.
Yeah, we didn't get to talk about this. We basically were talking about the Vegas deal.
Well, anyway, Mike is calling about your comments. Mike, what comments did Mark make?
Oh well, he just tried to tie in. I believe what I was getting out of it, I thought he was trying to refer the shooter as being radicalized. And I don't think that's fair because it's like he was saying white America can't do this evil act. Only a radicalized Muslim.
Most mass shooters, as almost all of us know, are white dudes.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Just say that. Don't say...
Well, no. The reason I said that is the sheriff alluded to that. I was reading an article.
That's the narrative that everybody wants to feed out.
Okay, so if it is true, then it's true.
You guys are both saying the same thing. What Mike is saying, he took your comments to mean that why can't it just be a crazy white guy? Why do we have to try to tie it to some radicalization? In other words, insinuating that anyone who would turn to Islam would automatically or somehow be a terrorist, whereas some normal white guy who's a Christian is not. Is that what you're saying, Mike, that anyone can be a terrorist?
Exactly. Let's just keep it, if it's done on American soil by American, let's just keep it at...
Well, here's the way I look at it.
Evil white man...
Yeah, here's the way I look at it.
Evil white man doing it...
Mike,
man, this dude's got an axe to grind somewhere.
He has no axe to grind. He's saying that anyone can do evil. Now, here's what I say, Mike,
Exactly.
Mike, I'd like to know if you agree with this, quickly. I believe that the Muslims who kill people in the name of Islam, and I believe Christians who kill people and bomb abortion clinics in the name of Christ, I believe they're not Christian and they're not Muslim. They're their own brand. I think they use that as an excuse to express their hate. But I don't believe, just like white supremacists, many of them use God as an excuse. But that doesn't make them Muslim or Christian or whatever. Right, Mike? Do you agree with that?
And see, that's what I want to try to get across to half of America right now, that we are humans that do evil. So therefore, we need to put blame where blame goes. Check the boxes and literally let it lie where it lies at. As far as in a white man, this man was 64 years old who did this terroristic thing over here. He was 64 years old.
And Mike, there are people also trying to call him an arch conservative going after liberals, or a liberal going after conservatives, just the opposite. They're trying to say he was ultra...
I still think we're going to find out he was radicalized. Well, I mean, I understand what...
Mark, what does it mean? What does radicalized mean to you, Mark? What does that mean?
Well, okay, I'd put it this way. Generally, when it's a younger person, because that's typically who gets radicalized, is they almost get hypnotized or tricked into believing a certain way.
Okay, good. Okay, as long as it's not one way, it's certain ways. For example, white supremacists have a radicalization.
Absolutely.
Christians have a radicalization.
Absolutely.
Muslims have a radicalization, right?
Absolutely.
Right. I think
it's like almost getting caught up in a bad occult, and you decide to do something stupid.
Right, in a bad cult, right. So, in other words...
And Islam happens to be one of them.
You mean one of the what?
One of the many people that attempt to radicalize people.
Okay. But
fair enough?
If you're saying many people call themselves Muslims, honest to God, Mark, truly, I don't believe it's a tenet of Islam to go out and kill people.
Well, I don't know, because I've never sat down and actually read the Quran, but I've heard people that apparently have, and I don't know if they have or not. It seems to be you kill people that don't believe that way. I don't know if that's in there or not, but I'm sure in the Christian Bible there's stuff that I've read people should die to if they're gay, for example.
Well, no, it never says you should die if you're gay. But I read the Quran cover to cover. Okay, it talks about jihad. Okay. And much of jihad is God doing it, destroying the infidels, okay? But it does say that there will be a time when you may be asked to do that, or you have to do that. You have to do it. You have to kill the infidels. But it doesn't talk about this kind of terror. It just doesn't. I'm not sticking up for any book, okay? And the Bible has many things, and it talks about spiritual warfare.
That's my point, though.
Okay, but all I'm saying is I don't believe any of these people as a whole, the Nation of Islam as a whole, or the Muslim people as a whole, believe in...
How about terrorism? ISIS as a whole?
Yeah, well, ISIS is not...
It's a group of nuts.
Yes, but there are groups of nuts everywhere.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, truly there are. Now, you know, we've heard more about radical Muslim or Islam than we have that other groups because they're the most active right now. I mean, but in Ireland, trust me, there were many...
The IRA.
There were many radical Catholics and radical Protestants. So it depends on... I don't know. It depends
I still don't understand. What did you take from that guy's point? Was he saying... regardless if he fell under someone's hypnosis, if you will, he's still a white guy, so therefore it's a crazy white guy. So even if he was radicalized, it doesn't matter. Is that what he was trying to say?
Well, what he was saying is you don't have to be, quote, radicalized to express evil.
Well, of course
you can do it just because you're a crazy bastard.
Yeah, you're insane, like the guy who walked in and killed all the little kids at Sandy Hook.
Now, do you know this deal we're making? Now we've changed the name. We're calling it Go Ahead, Make My Deal. That's what we're doing. When we made the deal on appliances, well, remember, we're not going to be a shopping service for you. Here are the rules. You have to have a product you've actually found that you are ready to buy, and you have a price, and we will beat it.
A big product.
Or any product. Rob, do you have a product name that you're going to buy?
Yes, I do.
You have the actual unit you are going to buy.
Yes.
And you have a price.
Yes.
We will beat your deal. Now, you have to explain it to me coming up. You hang on. I'm Tom Martino. This is the only show in the universe that does any of this. Making your deal. Keeping you safe. Protecting you. Going after liars, cheats, and ripoffs. All of that right now.
My God, I hate getting
That dude had a big axe to grind with the white man.
No.
Man, if you didn't pick up on that, I don't know what
Mark,
to
he
pick up
was
on.
trying to say, why do you have to make an excuse?
ISIS has claimed...
Because the sheriff came out and said the guy was radicalized.
And ISIS
Or
has
could
claimed
be.
them
Could
3
be.
times that he was a soldier of theirs.
Recently, right?
Well, they could be lying, but
Yes, but they haven't lied in the past.
Yeah, ICE in the past has
Don't
claimed
you
unless
believe-
they're part of it.
Yeah, 3 times.
here's the odd part. He's an old dude. That's the
So
part.
again,
that's the
therefore
most-
what? Therefore what?
That
No one else. You can't be unless you're a fucking Muslim.
No,
That's what you're
it's
saying.
possible.
Well,
But it's possible.
well, of course it's
That's what I said
possible.
on the thing. That's possible he could have been radicalized.
Well, okay, and it's possible he wasn't.
They haven't been false in the past.
But if he
So
was.
that's, in other words, when someone
someone
does
tells us-
something that's evil,
Yeah.
what fucking difference does it make?
No one
Okay,
said that.
so if someone hangs somebody and they're with the KKK, that doesn't make a difference? Of course it does.
Yeah, it means they're
How about the guy that dragged that poor gay kid by the back of his car? Turned out to be a freaking anti-gay. That has nothing to do with it? The belief system has nothing now?
It has everything to do with it, but it doesn't. What I'm saying is, it doesn't fucking do anything about if the crime is the crime. What difference does it make where he fucking came
That's
from?
not what I said. They're trying to find out why it happened.
Because we're at war with these fucking people.
We're just trying to see what the excuse was.
Are we at war with Christians that bomb abortion clinics?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Of
Then-
course.
So yeah.
And we
finding a
need to
motivation-
understand why
finding a
people
motivation
get
is-
indoctrinated into that kind of shit.
Finding a motivation is good, but you're never going to change what people do.
No, but you can change the messaging.
Absolutely, you can.
How do you change the message?
Okay, how is there a lot less white supremacist and a lot less KKK now than there was 70 years ago?
I don't know.
The message has changed.
What message?
the message. You can't be like that anymore. You're not normal if you're prejudiced.
Well,
you're not
right.
normal.
Right, that's right.
That was all
But I think
messaging.
we all believe that. And you're not normal if you kill someone.
That's right.
No matter what.
And you're not normal if you believe that if you take out a bunch of women and children, you get 50 fucking virgins.
And some
Because you're nuts if you believe that.
And some mosque preaches radicalization.
Right, Mark? Greg, you're being awful quiet.
They're doing a retreat for parents who've experienced the death of a child.
God, now it's like, I feel like Obama's in the room with me.
At my court, Maserati, to help parents get to this retreat. So they're wanting to announce this fundraiser to help these parents who've lost children be able to afford to go to this.
It's like when they
to help heal
blacked out
them
the
and
lowest
from
cops
losing
and
a child
everybody
to
saying,
death
hey,
from
do
not
all
for a
black
particular
people
reason.
I mean, he was
But it's really
radicalized.
promoting the fundraiser.
Probably radicalized by the Black Lives
How about
Matter.
that fucking crazy white kid that walked in and shot all the black people in that church?
Right.
Radicalized.
Absolutely. Now, should they
And there's
said-
no problem talking about what a fucking asshole he
Right.
was.
So according to what Tom's saying, is we should have said, hey, no, he just killed people.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with black or white.
Dan, don't fucking put words in my mouth.
Well, that's
what
what
I
it sounds
said
like.
what I said was, people use that radicalizing as an excuse to be fucking hate mongers themselves. And that's what that
That's
guy was
true.
trying to say.
That's true.
Don't fucking use it as an excuse to hate Muslims.
I don't.
That's what
I don't.
he's saying. Don't put words in my fucking
I wasn't
mouth.
putting words in
I
your
can
mouth.
speak for myself.
I wasn't
I am
putting-
not saying there shouldn't be a reason. There could be a reason.
And
But that reason doesn't extend to everyone of that ilk.
Of course. No one said
That's what I'm saying.
Nobody
Of course
said
not.
that.
We should look for reasons. But some
Absolutely.
people, as
Absolutely.
soon as they find out that he was fucking radicalized by fucking ISIS, will extend that to mean that all Muslims are fucking evil.
No, most people don't think that way anymore.
Bullshit.
I don't
They
think
don't.
so.
I don't
I
think so.
disagree with that.
People walk around looking for reasons to hate. That's why these
but
fucking
they're
assholes like
fucked
Sean
up
Hannity.
already.
Hannity is calling him a conservative. You know, wanting to kill, a liberal wanting to kill conservatives. Have you heard that one yet? What I'm saying
I
is,
think that's
it doesn't matter.
But
if he was a fucking liberal, that doesn't mean that all fucking liberals want to kill you.
Of course
But
not.
that is
But it still
the
gives
narrative
motive, finally, of something.
But that's the narrative people try to use.
That's
They
the point.
try to use what he is to fucking indict everyone. That's what they try to do. Why is Hannity making a big deal about the fact that the fucking guy is a screaming liberal? Why? Because he wants
I haven't
liberals
heard
to
that.
feel ashamed.
Politicalization. Right. Just like the liberals put it all on there for
That's
for guns.
right. They want to blame Trump for everything.
Right.
Because everyone
Exactly.
is into
100%.
Go, Rob.
I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Welcome to the only show anywhere. Rob wants us to buy something for him. He said he found a deal, and he's challenging us to beat that deal. So let's talk about it. By the way, we have Genesis Total Exteriors with us, too, if you have any questions about anything home improvement related. First of all, Rob, what did you find? What unit did you find?
A 2018 Grand Design Reflections 28 VH.
Okay, it's a Grand Design what?
Reflection.
That's the name of it?
Grand Design is the manufacturer. Reflections is the model line.
Okay, Grand Design, Reflection, and you found a brand new one.
2017, yes.
17? I thought you said...
2018. 2018.
Where'd you find it?
At Windish RV.
Windish. Okay, and how many feet is it?
It is a 28 VH.
28 feet?
28 bunkhouse.
What does that mean?
The bunkhouse means it has bunk beds for kids.
It's just a description of the RV.
Okay, well, we'll get the exact description. And then...
It's a fifth wheel trailer.
Oh, it's a fifth
And it looks
wheel.
like the best price you got was the $30,879 plus taxes.
Correct.
And you're ready to buy right now. This is a problem, though, Tom. We had this one the other day. How do we handle trade-ins? Because he's got a unit, an RV, to trade in. That makes it entirely complicated.
Well, here's the only way we can do it. is whatever difference he was quoted. That's the only thing that counts, not the price.
Because I might be able to find the unit cheaper, but they might not give them the same trade-in.
Well,
they might not want that unit.
Then you're exactly right. You're exactly right. So it would only be the difference. But your trade, is it paid for?
Yes.
That makes it a little easier. And they quoted you a price on your trade, right?
Yeah, 10.5.
10.5. So you see, Mark has a point, and here's what it is. Even if we found a better price on the fifth wheel, you found it for $38.79. If, let's say we found it for $28 or $27, but they don't want your trade, would you consider that a better deal? I wouldn't. It's a better price, but it may not be a better deal.
Yeah, and you're not going to want 2 units.
So I think the only thing we can do is shop price.
Shop total price with trade-in.
Well, with trade, you mean? Well, then, okay, but then we're not here. But then here's
he
what
can't
we're doing.
keep both.
No, but then what we're doing is we're guaranteeing, though, now more than just buying something cheaper. We're guaranteeing
a better trade-in, or at least the same trade-in.
I know,
which is hard.
That's going to be really difficult, but we'll do it. What difference did they quote you to walk out the door? The difference.
That was the $30,879.
Okay, so they're actually charging you, if they're truly giving you that, you know, and again, no one ever knows with a trade what's really happening. The only thing you can do is the difference. So they're really retailing that to you for $41,379. Is that right?
There's deal and handling fees in there and so forth. The price they quoted was $40,900.
I think the best way to deal with ones like this, and you're ready to, like, sign on the dotted line right now, right?
Yes.
I think the best way is I actually deal with who he already has. And if I have to pit them against someone else, that's fine. But I try to just get the deal done quick with the people he's already dealing with.
But if they know he's ready to buy,
well, then we find him somewhere else. I mean, that's the carrot.
If they know he's ready to buy, they're going to say, screw it.
Is your unit in really good shape?
It's in good condition, yes.
Okay.
Were you surprised at the 10.5 they offered you? Be honest.
No, it was about what I expected.
Okay. So, Mark, I think we go with the difference only. So you're telling me, according to your contract, you can drive away in that Grand Design Reflection for $30,879. Does that include taxes?
It does not include sales tax.
Okay. So he can drive away for $30,879. We need to find someone who can match that. I think we go to a number of places, Mark. I think we go to, of course, Century RV. I don't know if they deal with this brand.
I don't know.
And then
they don't.
And then what does RV America?
Tell us who else. Camping World, tell us who else has it in town.
I don't think anybody else has it in town.
Okay.
Yeah, that might be really difficult, but we'll take a stab at it. Now, Mark, how are we coming on that house full of windows?
We have one bid back from Window Source on a referral list, and I told them, hey, this is great, you matched the price, but I got to have some specs on these windows.
Wait a minute.
Well, they might have beat it by a little bit. But, I mean, the price, here's the problem. Wait, this is another problem we're going to run into as we go through this experiment. The window company, and I'm not going to say who it is that she's using, probably has the worst product out there, according to anybody I talk to. They are the low, cheap guys on the block. So trying to get a dollar for dollar is hard when they're selling the Yugo and no one else sells a Yugo.
Right.
So it's tough.
But if we can beat the price with a better product...
And that's what Window Source is doing, but I need to know that it's a better product. I said, send me the specs. So you know about this.
Right.
How do you, if you've got a triple pane window or a single pane, is there some measurement?
Well, first of all, triple pane is going to be better no matter what.
Always.
Yeah.
So a single pane this thick is better than a triple pane?
Well, they don't make thick single panes.
Okay.
Any thicker than a normal, I mean, no.
I've got a learning curve on windows.
Well, no, I know a lot about windows. And also, extruded vinyl is better than other vinyl. We should quiz Window Source. The one I have back in Champion is getting me
a bid too. Now, as you know, the Champion windows are going to be, they're good windows.
Yeah.
These are top of the line. And Mark, you sell that solar window. I think if you looked at this one, the problem's going to be you're up against the Yugo once again. And what you're selling is the BMW.
Right.
It's a solar window.
But we still want to get multiple bids, and I think we should beat it by a lot with a better product. And again, there's no reason why they can't beat it by a lot, because people will then know they go there for deals. We're not going to give anybody any, we're not guaranteeing anyone the same deal. We're guaranteeing only the people that come to us the great deal.
Hey, that guy with the RV, did you get rid of him yet?
No, he's right there.
I'm a little confused because this said, I thought he said 2017. Is it a 17 or 18?
It's an 18, he said.
Okay, got it.
Okay, yeah, it is an 18. We see that. Hold on. Amy, you held the other day, so I want to get right to you. What's going on, Amy?
Hey, so I hired a place called Grade A Excavating and Landscape, and they're supposed to start sometime this week, but I'm a little nervous because the total bill is like 37 grand, and they want half of that up front, like for the...
Well, okay. Will they take a credit card?
That I don't know.
Well, that would be a very safe route to go. Or, or whatever they would take on credit card, you may not be able to get that much line of credit. Whatever they would take, or you pay for materials when they're delivered, and you pay a certain amount when they start the job. But I'm just telling you that if it was me, I would not pay. If it was me, I would not pay that up front. I would not pay $18,500 up front at all. Okay? Now, I don't care if people are mad at me. I would not do it unless it was in a credit card, or unless I was paying for materials that I could verify are delivered. I would pay, and I would pay when they start work a certain amount.
I wouldn't either.
I don't mind dividing it up and paying as I go, even when they show up that day, paying for materials and a good chunk of money, but I would never pay half up front ever. So now, what kind of
that was a little strange.
What kind of reviews? What kind of reviews do they have?
You know, I only found about 4 of them on Yelp, and I would say 1 out of the 4 was really good, and then the others were just kind of okay.
Well, then,
and that's all I've been able to find.
Well, that doesn't sound good to me. I mean, you got to be You got to be really careful. You know, you just got to be careful. And if people can't float a little bit of a job and don't trust you, don't trust them. And you know, here's another thing. If people must pay something, you get somebody's driver's license and you make them sign personally. I'm not kidding. And then you get a driver's license and take a photocopy. Huh?
I asked him, I'm like, isn't there some kind of contract we can sign or something? Because I said it makes me nervous to give you that much money up front.
And there was no contract?
Yeah, there's no contract at all?
No, like he sent me the estimate and had me accept it. And that's what we signed.
No, that's not a contract. That's not a contract.
No, that's not a contract.
Listen, I don't like anything that you're telling me right now, so I don't know why the heck you would do that. I'm just giving you my advice. You do what you want.
I wouldn't even put it on a credit card. In all honesty, unless if something was delivered, unless if something was taking place, I don't even like doing that. You do have that level of protection.
You have a lot of protection there, but it is a lot, half of it, for nothing. At least I'd want some materials, or at least the job starting, or planning, at least a plan, you know, some effort they put in. Have they done anything, Amy, anything at all?
No, they haven't. They've come and looked at my yard and gave me an estimate on everything I asked for.
You ought to call some references from similar jobs.
Well, or call someone like Mr. Green Jeans or someone else.
No, yeah, you should definitely use my referral list, for sure. But on this one, if you want to check them out, ask them for the last job they did for $37,000 or more. Just ask them and see what they tell you. One Clear Choice Garage Doors. If you got a garage door that has giving you trouble, call them One Clear Choice Doors. Or maybe you simply want to get a safety checkup. If you ask for the Martino checkup, they'll do that and put a sticker on your door. They even do lubrication and hinge bolt tightening. They want to be your garage door company. 303-565-6409. 565-6409. OneClearChoiceDoors.com.
is a lot of that is a lot of money up front.
Just nothing, no drawing.
What was she going to have done? I totally didn't listen.
Landscaping.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That is a ton of.
And let me tell you, landscapers in general, I don't trust. So, my bad. I don't, man.
There's
a lot. That's a shady business.
a lot of fluff in that business.
I bet whoever she's dealing with doesn't even take credit cards.
But you're right.
Took me like a month and a half to find somebody just to yard maintenance for me. Call people and they say they're too busy or they show up and they don't.
This lady wants to know. She's at Dollar Tree and she's ready to buy a $1 steak. Can we get a better price?
Did you ever eat those?
I sat here, I cooked them, and I watched 5 people in this room eat them. When I open the packages up, they're in this fluid, some preservative that's like nothing I've ever seen. It looks like plasma of some sort, but there was an odor to it. After I cooked them, I put them on plates for everybody in here. I had one. I couldn't fucking take a bite of it. 4 out of the 5 took 1 bite and they were done. One guy from Colorado Springs, Jesse, he ate half his, which blew me away. But I couldn't eat it, Mark.
So some fluid.
And we looked at the packaging, and on the packaging, I can't think of the name of it, but what it's for. You ready for this? It's an antacid. It was actually packaged in bromine. What's the name of that? What was the $1 steak packaged in? Bromine? Bromamine. So we look up what it is. It's actually a chemical to help with indigestion. So they know their product's so bad. They actually packaged the fucking steak in an antacid.
That's great.
I know it.
Wasn't that the funniest thing ever? Bromine. This guy emails, goes, I'm in front of Dollar Tree and I'm ready to buy one of those $1 steaks. Can Mark get a better price?
It's really that $1 steak is really a piece of roast beef. But
it's like, how can they make any money with all that? You know,
because the thing weighs. If you actually go per pound, fuck, it's more expensive than buying a $6 a pound steak.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know what it is? I bet the packaging costs more.
Oh yeah. And your bromine.
God, I couldn't believe that. We looked up like, what the hell is this red shit? Antacid.
These guys still don't get it. This guy with the saw wants us to go shopping.
I know. They don't understand. That is so hard. This guy wanted me to get a camera for him.
$500,000 policy for under $27 a month. That's
portable bandsaw.
I know. Well, he doesn't have one.
If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying.
Oh shit! Wait a minute. This fucking bandsaw is $6,808.
Which one is it?
My God, that's a bandsaw. It's a Sequoia. Where would you buy something like that?
Shoot, nowadays Home Depot.
No, I said that guy that wanted the saw. I didn't realize he was.
Had tools.
Did he have a price? Did he have a? I thought he didn't have a price.
$6,000. This is a fucking saw.
But did he already find one? He has to find one for a
20-inch track.
Big bandsaw.
What would you use something like that for?
A big bandsaw.
I mean, obviously cutting big timbers for
a 20-foot track on a trailer.
Oh, do you know what that's going to be? That's going to be for cutting tree when you have a tree.
Sawmill?
Yeah,
sawmill?
I mean,
it's a portable sawmill.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Harbor Freight.
Harbor Freight. 1999, baby.
They do got portable sawmills.
Oh my God. I'm looking at a toolbox here. The problem with Harbor Freight is you've got to constantly check their flyer because that same toolbox can be $1,500 one week and the next week $300. So you got to watch what you buy there. Well, when shit goes on sale, I don't think I'd ever buy tools there. But their fucking toolboxes are bad, man.
If you're not a professional mechanic,
no,
all the time.
Absolutely.
I think they're fine for most stuff.
Harbor Freight is good for a lot of stuff.
Toolboxes for sure.
And you know what? They have a
compressors.
They do. And they really do honor it. I swear to God.
No, if you bring a tool or something, in, they'll fix it. Or
no, they'll
like,
it out.
You buy an air compressor there. It's gonna be the loudest air compressor you own.
Well, they make a little generator.
It'll be
they
the
put right next to the hottest.
I mean,
No, you're right. There's a lot of stuff, but I bought some stuff there. The quality's fine.
They got welding kits and shit.
They've improved a lot.
I bought stuff.
They have ratchet sets and ratchets and really good.
My guys would never buy tools there, but they would buy carts. They would buy welding stuff. They buy a lot of stuff actually.
Tarps.
I wouldn't buy a weld.
We buy tarps there.
But for home use, the tools.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Mac's got a comment on that landscaping call. Go ahead, Mac. They wanted, 17 grand or something down. What's happening?
Yeah, I'm a remodeler down in Colorado Springs and was just listening in on your show. Without a contract, and also you guys were spot on with having the customer pay for the materials. They can do a will call at the supplier and actually have the customer pay for the materials.
Good.
With the supplier directly. So that's what I do, and it's a reassurance to the client, and also absolutely sign a contract.
What kind of work do you do?
He's a home improvement contractor, aren't you?
Yes, I'm a remodeler. I go in and improve homes and commercial properties.
We are looking for, I get so many people,
have a lot. Yeah, I know. We're growing our list.
Every single week, I get them from El Paso in Colorado Springs itself. It's crazy. There's no good contractors down there now.
Yeah, we don't know of any. Let's put it that way. You ought to please, Suzanne, you ought to at least take his number and let's talk to him, because I got to tell you something. We could feed him so much work if he's honest and good, and it sounds like he does a great job. Go ahead.
He made me think of something. We have a company on a referral list down there now. It's Front Range LED. Maybe you can explain this to me. They can come in, redo every light in a building, and ultimately, you start saving money about a year to a year and a half later. They'll retrofit everything to LED.
No, you get, and it's better than that, Mark, because 50% of it is paid, I believe.
There's where my question comes in.
By the power,
by Colorado Springs Utility.
Right.
Explain this to me, whether it's Colorado Springs Utility or Excel. Why in the hell, when your business is selling electricity, you'll pay 50%? They make their money selling power.
Right.
Why do they subsidize
Here's why.
A company that's going to make it so you don't pay nearly as much, sometimes up to 90%?
Well, let me give you an example, and I don't know what the numbers are, but I'll give you an example. Let's say Colorado Springs Utility right now is making a 30% margin. Let's say they are.
Fair enough.
Okay. Now, they're making a 30% margin, but they're at the brink of capacity. If they build a new plant, their margins will go down to 10%.
Got it.
Because the new plant
is going to cost a ton.
And not only that, but the forecast is saying with fuel efficient, with more efficient everything, power usage will go down. So now they have to meet a temporary demand of about 3 to 5 years, making less money, and take a hit in the shorts. And if they pay, it's cheaper for them to pay that cost, because when they pay that, it's tax deductible because it's considered advertisement, and it's also and it also decreases their capital improvement budget. Plus, it keeps their margins up, and they know that if they can stay at the brink and encourage people to conserve and not have to build, not have to capitalize, they're going to make a ton of money.
It's just amazing. They'll go into a big building, retro everything, brand new equipment, brand new everything. It pays for itself in a year and a half.
Yes.
And the utility company pays half your bill. It's crazy.
Yeah. Hey, Nicole.
Hi, Tom.
What's going on? You have someone renting a room from you?
No. We have a boarding stable.
Oh, a stable. Okay, yes.
And I had a boarder that owes money and removed the horse Saturday without me being there, without my knowledge. However, there is a tack trailer that's left on the property, and I want to know what my rights are in securing that.
Well, technically, right now, you have no right now. But if you can get a judgment, you can do a writ of garnishment immediately.
Okay.
So you have to get a judgment.
Okay, great.
And some people are bold enough because they figure this person doesn't have money, they will hide the trailer and until they get the judgment, and then take the trailer. And then people say, well, you can't do that. But you know what? If you did, there's not a police officer in the world that's going to arrest you for theft, because the intent's not there, and she's not going to go out and sue you because she doesn't have any money, and attorneys don't work free. So, I mean, sometimes when people owe you money and they're trying to beat the system, you can too. But I'm not telling you should do that, but there are some people that would make it difficult for her to get that until you get your judgment.
I've already put a boot on the trailer, so...
Okay. Well, then, if you get a judgment as soon as possible, and then you do a writ of execution.
Okay.
And that means you get to take something equal to the amount she owes, and if it's more, then you have to sell it and pay the difference back to her.
Okay.
How much does she owe you?
$1,350.
And how much was the horse worth?
The horse, not that. I mean, if that, it's just principal.
Because you could have done that. You could have kept her from getting the horse.
Then I tried to, but she was sneaky.
Okay.
And beat me to it.
Yeah.
So,
when you run a boarding facility or a storage facility, the moral of the story is act quickly. Act quickly. Very, very important. Another thing important from Fort Collins to Colorado Springs, and that is pure water. That's why I love to have Pure Water Choices on board. Pure Water Choices is a no-hype water filtration and water conditioning company run by a master plumber. And I tell you that's critical, because Al's not going to lie to you. For example, what would a full Mac Daddy water softening, conditioning, and filtration system cost for your home? No more than $3,800, unless your home is a huge mansion. But most of the time, $3,800 or under. Why do I say that? Because he wants you to know the truth. Also, a point-of-use filtration system with a double filter for both sediment and gases, about $500 to $600. So give him a call for the truth and for free evaluation. 720-219-7818. PureWaterChoices.com. 720-219-7818.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Trust.
Or anything, if it's more than 7,500, yeah, but she can do it up to 7,500.
But you got to go to court. You
know, there might be a special provision for storage facilities, but I don't know that boarding facility is considered storage.
Like a temporary...
I don't know. I thought there was some kind of special laws regarding storage. Because don't they lock you out of your storage locker if you don't pay, and they don't get a judgment? So how are they doing it? There must be some special law, and I think Siglian would know that, but
With your traffic and weather, I'm Pete Blackburn. 6:30 K-How.
This report is brought to you by Farmers
something like that.
His trade-in's a pretty nice unit for 10 grand, man.
So why not just sell that?
That's well, the sales tax you have to pay sometimes, right?
Yeah, but that's only going to be on 10 grand.
And what is sales tax?
So say 7%.
No, it won't be on.
Mark, you did one Clear Choice yesterday, didn't you? Did you do everything that was due on Tuesday? Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Then I did it again, because I'm looking at the wrong day now. It's okay.
Frank, garage doors.
That's right.
What's your reverse mortgage?
Whatever had to be done. I see. You always do that. Okay, that's fine.
Mark, every time solar, I am do this, I just want to tell you, every time solar is brought up, I get good, nice emails on Namaste Solar. They're up in Boulder, so I sent you those emails
from yesterday.
Every time I've gotten recommendations before. Every time we have a solar call, every time I get
They're
emails.
You're too liberal up in Boulder.
You're so prejudiced, Mark. Take
You're
them
too
with
liberal.
you to Evergreen.
How the hell are you going to buy solar from a liberal? And they give you a free granola?
Take him with you. He'll be happy up there.
Free bowl of granola. They probably come out in those, what are those sandals that they wear? Those Birkenstocks and socks, and put up your solar. Who could ever watch that?
Oh, man.
Impossible, dude.
Can you imagine, Dan? Birkenstock.
What is this new radical? Why do you like living in Boulder? What is this new radical group called? Oh, I think you live in Boulder.
No, Evergreen. Altifa or
Oh, yeah.
What is it? What is it called?
They're like, I think they're college kids that like run around, jump. What does it mean? I don't know what it means.
It's anti-fascist or something.
So
Dan, what is Altifa or Altif or give me the name?
Antifa?
Antifa.
Anti-fascism.
What is it?
Anti-fascist.
I know, but what is it? A group?
A group, right. Well, I don't know.
They actually wear masks. Yeah. You can't see them.
Are they conservative or liberal?
Oh, very far left. Far left.
Crazy
left?
left?
They're left of liberals.
Yeah, they make liberals look conservative.
They wear those funny masks, like like
ski masks.
No, not ski masks. They actual.
Like the white and black.
Yes. Well, I don't even know what they call those. Antifa.
They voted for Hillary. No, Bernie.
Bernie.
Oh,
they wrote Bernie in.
But they're for
Looks like Genesis is too busy to quit my job.
I got one of those the other day too. Just tell your people to at least call back and say, hey.
There's Jeremy Bronson. He said, I want to do a job. I'm ready to go. I can't even get a quote.
I get that on every company right now.
I even need a roof.
Here's the other.
Forward that one to me.
Here's what's going to kill you.
I don't have
anything
anything except his.
You know how many people are heading down to Texas now?
I just have his name, Jeremy. Jeremy.
Oh, say to call the office and tell him to leave a message for me, and I'll call him this afternoon.
Why would they hit?
Okay.
Because they can make more
I'm
money.
going to say just personally.
Well, it's going to be interesting because, like, they're talking, like, they're offering Davis-Bacon wages down in Texas. Removes down.
So listen, I'm going to say, personally talk to you, so
you're going to say, I will call when I get back. And so they're going to pay Davis-Bacon wages. The thing is, Davis-Bacon wages up here, about 20 per painter, about 25, 26 bucks an hour with all your benefits.
What are they then?
Down in Texas, because I've worked down in Texas about 3 years, it's like $13 an hour, Davis-Bacon.
Yeah, but after a big storm like
they might bring them up. So
I mean, they might bring them up big time.
Of course, you're living down there temporarily.
Like my insurance company will go up like 40% if it's like a big fire or something that wipes out a neighborhood.
But of course, Texas in the wintertime might not be a bad place to go down for the winter.
Yeah, but our winters you can work all year here.
We are free.
Hey, if you want granite, Art of Granite is the place to go. Mitch Floria. Now, Mark and Suzanne literally used him. I have referred him to so many people. Artofgranite.net. All I can tell you is this: he's a great guy. Countertops and cabinets. He can do it all, and he does not ask for big money up front. He doesn't mark up the granite at all because he does it wholesale for you. He only charges for fabrication installation, and he hauls out and tears away everything free. He also gives you the bathroom free if you do the kitchen at the time. 303-386-5919, 303-386-5919. He is a great guy, and I'm trying to keep all these great contractors on the fore of your mind here, so when you need something, you'll think of them, like Mark Szymanski here, Genesis Total Exteriors. Mark, I think the big problem is when you are honest, when you do things the right way, when you're just, don't you get frustrated? You're busy, and I know it's hard to stay on top of it, because if you scale up for this, it's not always going to be this busy. How do you do it? And I mean that sincerely. How do you do it? Because everyone wants everything. You can hire a bunch of people, but then do you have to lay them off? How do you do it?
I mean, there's times, again, some trades we do supplement with subs.
Of course you have to.
Right.
And you take full responsibility.
Right. Yeah, and we background check them as well as make sure they have the insurance and all their documentation in place.
Right.
So I mean, that helps a lot, because then they're not just working for me, they're working for several people, so there's a rush, they can help. And we try to take care of those people well, because then when the rush comes, they come to us, and they'd rather work with me than other contractors.
You mean the subs. Good, good. Right. That's a good point.
So that helps a lot.
All right. So, people, you got to be patient. Now, Stu wants to educate us on Windows, he says. Stu, we were talking about Windows because one company quoted this woman a price, and then we went out shopping, and everyone says they have the best. I think I know pretty much about Windows. I'm not an expert. Stu, what do you know?
Well, ultimately, you do have a couple of third-party organizations that you can point to.
Good.
And ultimately, most window manufacturers also have what they call an architectural guide, which will have a lot of this propeller head stuff in here that you're looking for. So you have the American Architectural Manufacturers Association and the Window and Door Manufacturers Association.
Are they pretty good companies?
Well, they're third-party organizations that basically don't sell windows. They're just
give them to me again. American Architectural
Manufacturers Association.
Manufacturers
and the Window and
Association.
Door Manufacturers Association.
Okay.
And what they'll do is they'll test a window and assign what they call a DP or design pressure rating to a window.
That's great.
The higher the DP, the more wind and rain it'll take, if you will. So you don't have to take it by the literature.
What about their thermal efficiency?
That's the National Fenestration's Ratings Council, and ultimately they'll assign what they call a U factor and a solar heat gain coefficient to a window.
Hold on a second.
Case, the lower.
Okay, National National
Fenstration.
Oh, Fenstration. Okay, got it.
And they'll assign what they call a U factor, a solar heat gain coefficient to a window. So the lower the number in this case, the better, and as far as energy efficiency is concerned. There's a trade-off here, though, in what they call a visible light transmittance, because what they do for windows is they'll put in what they call a low E coat. Stands for.
What do you do for a living?
I do this for a living, sir.
What do you do for a living?
I sell windows and doors and siding and
who do you work for?
I work for one of those big box guys, Lowe's.
Okay. Listen, man, I need your number to get in touch with you for when we have window questions. You sound like you really do know what you're talking about.
I'm a propeller head, brother.
I like that, seriously, because you don't have an allegiance to any one company.
No, we actually have 4 manufacturers that we do, and
yeah, but I'd be asking you about other ones, not necessarily the ones that Lowe's sells. Would that be okay for you to just answer objectively?
Sure. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, most of these manufacturers are buying their glass from Cardinal Industries, the 800-pound gorilla for glass manufacturing. Now, there is such a thing as single-strength glass, double-strength glass, and triple-strength glass. That means just twice as thick or 3 times as thick.
Okay, man. Suzanne, get this guy's number. He's an egghead. Why don't people do this checking? Well, I didn't. Here's the thing, Stu. Here's the thing. What do you think about the market out there? I don't want you to name anyone, but you know who I'm talking about. What do you think about the replacement window market?
The grand scheme of things is, one window to another, they're all pretty energy efficient. There are definitely better windows than others, but the install is the important part. The install and how it's installed.
Mark, this guy's pretty cool.
Difference in the world.
You'd be worth, I don't know how to put this. You'd be worth your weight in gold as a salesperson selling a good window, and I would think you'd make more than working at Lowe's. Now, like I said, I'm not trying to get into your business, but why did you choose to work there?
I actually have sold multiple products, and I do work in an exterior division, if you will, that I go out to people's homes. That's exactly what I do.
Have you heard of Window World?
Yes.
And what's your take on that, just a first blush?
Well, one of the windows is rated by that American Architectural Manufacturers Association. The other one is not. Hence, which one are you getting?
Well, we're not getting any. We were doing some price comparison, and Brutus there is killing my ears. He just blasted me into the next century. Hold on a second. Get his name and number, please. His last name, and that's great. Well, we got a lot to talk about. That new solar window, that is something to talk about. Mark Szymanski sells. That's a window that actually pays for itself over time. Stick around for the Troubleshooter Show. We got a lot of exciting stuff coming up.
Take a
Mortgage. Let us show you how to own your home faster, not change your spending habits, and save over $100,000 in interest. It's your money. Call 720-895-0500 and take advantage of Ames. It's all about you event. When you receive $300 now for any closed loan, use it for Home Depot, Bed Bath & Beyond, or Lowe's. And the opportunity for $1,000 cash, 3 days of Breckenridge, or a new LCD 55-inch flat screen. Call 720-895-0500 for details. If you are tired of paying mortgage insurance, stop. You're wasting your money. Need cash to pay off high interest rate debt, or to do that home upgrade you've put off for so long? Want to purchase a home with 2% down and no mortgage insurance? Paperless loan approval, quick closes, and low rates. Take a call, 720-895-0500. Find out why more Coloradans every day.
So what about
Call now to take advantage of
This coyote tracks with the stable. I wouldn't give that trailer back. I don't care. If people owe me money, I have no qualms going after it.
And it's been a couple months for her, and like I said, she put a chain through the wheels, keep her from coming to get them. And do you see what the prices they charge for boarding? Super cheap. $130 a month for
that's ridiculous. I don't even know how you can feed a horse for that.
And she said, and then they give
some of the good barns are 800 more. I mean,
and I told her that
a good barn they feed and water, of course, and they turn them out so they can go out and play, and then bring them in at night.
She's taken over for her mom who charged these low prices.
But the places I come from, we don't do
this is
any nonsense.
What is
this?
This
is intended to do nothing but divide people.
An American shares this year's Nobel Prize in Chemistry. The Nobel Prize is shared between Joachim Frank of Columbia University and Europeans Jacques Debouchet and Richard Henderson, recognized for developing cryo-electron microscopy.
A cool method for imaging the molecules of life.
It allows scientists to generate images of tiny cell structures.
Fox's Simon Owen. Fox News. We report, you decide.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called.
But on the barn, she seemed like a very nice lady.
Has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well,
this guy's got to send me the model number on that trailer.
We represent.
And there's like, what he gave me, there's 18 different models. They range from 40, he must be looking at the bottom,
and there's
but
probably
from 40 to 75,000.
And there's probably options within the model.
The coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If Select Quote has
Man, we had a beautiful fifth wheel for a while. Had a fireplace, all kinds of shit, multiple levels.
Your dad and mom?
My parents, yeah.
A guy called because he didn't want to come on the show. He just wants a referral. He had a vape battery explode in his pocket and burned him real bad. He just wants a PI attorney. I don't know if that was one more for Marco or for Fuller, or should I give him both? Does Fuller do that kind of stuff? He does car, okay.
I stopped at Camping World this weekend looking for a portable grill because mine went in the fritz for the tailgating now. And that Camping World was busy.
Oh God, it's crazy. I went to the one up, I almost bought a bus. I looked at one past Colorado Springs. As soon as you get out of Colorado Springs, it's right there. But that's where the unit was. I came so close to that. I'm glad I didn't.
Wow.
I mean, to me, something like that makes more sense if you really want to do it just to rent it. You save so much more.
Are you a homeowner?
There's so, you can get so much now. To me, I was thinking, okay, do you buy, a condo up in Breck, you buy a lake house, what do you buy if you want a second thing? Then I started thinking this would be a better deal. Then I just said, fuck it, I ain't going to do anything right now. So.
Then you find your kids, they're out there using the bus as a little party.
Oh, I know.
Come on over to the bus. Party at the bus.
My neighbors had the ugliest bus in front of their house over the weekend. I started getting scared that they bought it. It looked like an old Greyhound bus that someone spray painted and turned into an RV. Suzanne even drove by it and texted me, "Did you see the bus?" And I'm thinking, you can't miss that bus, man. You could see that thing from space.
It was like the Partridge Family bus?
Worse. It was, I'm telling you, it was just, I'm thinking, and their barn would never hold it. It's way too long. It was a full-size bus. And I'm thinking, oh shit, that's going to be out there. What?
His friends that come there?
I guess so, yeah, because it's gone now.
It's too many, I have high school kids. It's like, there's too many activities going on for me to buy an RV and justify it.
Yeah. We've got friends, though, that, we're not really friends. My daughter's best friend, her parents, man, they go out to like Chatfield and Cherry Creek, and they bring their camper out all the time during the summer. They got a camper and a boat, and that's what they do during the weekend.
So they stay overnight there?
Yeah, and then bring the boat out. He's got every toy known to man.
That's different. I mean, 'cause at least you're close.
Those are busy lakes.
God, there's nothing, you can't like open anything up out there. I mean, I don't even understand why people go there.
I don't even.
Buddy, he takes us to Sterling. He says, you know, McConaughey's nuts. You know, the Denver race is nuts. He goes, Sterling's quiet.
There's no real water around here.
We keep our boat out there. Cherry Creek's like.
How much
we
does
won't
that
take it out.
How much does that cost?
It's like $2,000 a year.
On a dock? Shit, that ain't bad at all. Man.
No, and it's just. I mean,
I
wouldn't use it as.
I got a friend
use
that
it
pays
enough if
like
it wasn't on the water.
no shit, $12,000 a year at Lake Powell. I mean, it's a gigantic houseboat, but still $1,000 a month.
Jeez. I've got a buddy that has 2 of those down there that he rents. He rents them for like 10, 15 grand a week.
He rents them out.
Really, that much a week?
That's crazy, yeah. But they're huge ones.
No, they go for that. That's normal. Some of them come with jet skis, you know, on the back. And
Is that on top?
You about just because the big loud building, man. These people who are just
You sign your
novices,
life away.
never have rode jet ski before and then go out there.
yeah, but I mean, you're getting the people doing all that for you. They're getting credit card deposit. I mean, they're dotting the I's and crossing the T's. They wreck that jet ski. I assure you, they have payment.
Yeah,
for
you
it.
just assume they're gonna break it.
Yeah, you do. You basically assume they're breaking it.
That's where you make the real money, like I know Snowmobile World.
We rented a nice speedboat at Table Rock, which is a city underwater.
If you can, I'm feeling down, and I do appreciate you being round. Help me get my feet back on the ground.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Here to help you solve your problems, to answer your questions, to take your complaints, to spread the word about great people at referralist.com. And we want to do anything we can to help you. All you have to do is call us, and we also have a new segment we're trying to get off the ground called We Make the Deal, or Go Ahead, Make My Deal, where you have something you're ready to buy, and you have a price. In other words, literally a price you can buy it at. You're ready to buy today at that price, and we try to beat it. And we're doing that right now. We're going to try to get quicker at it and faster at it. And this RV, Mark, I think this is something we can go to work on right away. The problem is,
As soon as he gets me the model number.
Right. He has to get you the model number. But the other thing is, would people take anything comparable? Now, obviously, they'd have to inspect it and make sure it is comparable or better. Because we did that with an appliance, got the same brand but a better model, and still saved the guy money through Appliance Factory Outlet. And we would love you guys to be able to benefit from our negotiating power. We have Mark Szymanski with us from Genesis Total Exteriors. If you have any home improvement questions, we do. We have some emails as well we'll get to. Heidi wants to promote something very special. This is something odd that we're doing. We promote certain charitable events. I don't know if you heard the other week, but we promoted this fundraiser in the 20th anniversary of Omar Jah's death. He was an African from Senegal who came here to America, sent his money back home to build his village up. He was murdered 20 years ago by white supremacists, and they had a fundraising event. They have one every year to keep his dream going. Since then, the village has had fresh water with a pump as a result of his efforts, and of course efforts after his death. And school children now have school supplies, and the village is flourishing, which was one of his dreams. And we had a fundraiser last week, and I just want to say thank you all who supported that, and I appreciate that. And Hazel Miller saying she's a wonderful lady and she has a beautiful voice. Well, we're going to promote something else that's a little different right now. Heidi is calling, and she wants to raise money, and follow me now. She's raising money to send parents to a retreat. Now, if you're a parent, you're saying, yeah, we can all use a retreat, but this is a very special retreat. This is a retreat for parents who specifically have lost a child in death. Now, I was told this, and I can only imagine it, that you do not know pain until you've lost a child, and that no parent should ever experienced that pain of losing a child. So there's a retreat for these parents. First, Heidi, before we go on, let me ask this. Who originated this retreat?
Actually, I did. Coming out of, I lost my own daughter almost 15 years ago now, and looking at everything that helped me and how I could help others.
Did it help you? Did it help you to have other parents to talk to?
You know, I honestly didn't have a lot of other parents to talk to and did a lot of other things, and so this was a way to bring parents together, give them tools, and also have that network of support. And we bring together parents that have lost children of all ages.
Is this your first one?
Of death. No, we've actually had 4 of them, and we're going to be having our 5th in December.
And this is a retreat for parents who've lost children, and there will be resources and support there. And whether it's been years since you lost a child or it's recent, parents are welcomed, and it's going to be in Hawaii.
Yes, all of the retreats are in Kauai on the North Shore, and we actually pay for everything for the parents because so many of the parents are still paying for medical bills or
so this
lots of wages.
This is a fully expense-paid trip, and that's what you're raising money for.
Yep, it costs about $3,000 to send each parent, or $6,000 for each couple, and so yeah, it takes a lot of funds. And what we found is for every parent we serve, we end up with 3 more on our waiting list. So we've got 140 parents on our waiting list right now. So all the funds that we raise go towards bringing these parents over here to have a week of peace and restoration.
I hope people are following me on this. I hope people are following me. This is a wonderful thing you're doing. And okay, so you're raising money to send people on this retreat. And what can people do to help?
They can. We've got an event coming up on Saturday at Mike Ward Maserati. It's going to be a casino night, and so people can, tickets are $50. You can go to our website, ohana-oasis.com, or go to our Facebook page.
Okay, let's say that again slowly. The website?
Ohana.
Ohana. It's O-H?
O-H-A-N-A dash Oasis, O-A-S-I-S.
.com.
Or we have our Facebook page.
Which is
Ohana Oasis.
Okay, Ohana Oasis, Facebook, or Ohana -oasis.com. And this casino night is this Saturday at?
From 6 to 9 at the Maserati dealership. So you get to play blackjack, craps, roulette. We've got a golf simulator. You get to check out Maserati.
You know, I've heard Mike Ward's name lately, over the last year or so, associated with so many charities. This guy is making a full effort to help people.
He is. He has been phenomenal to work with.
He is. I can tell. I can tell because I've seen him at these places, and I've seen a lot of the donations and contributions he's made. And it just so happens that it just stuck out. It stuck out when I saw his name again. I'm thinking, wow, something. He just made a commitment somewhere to do a lot of charity.
Yeah, we appreciate it. It takes people like him to help all of these parents. So. Yeah, it's a great thing.
Can people, I know people are lazy, can they just show up Saturday at 6 o'clock and buy?
They can.
Good.
They can. It's helpful if they do it in advance so we can, get numbers for food, but we're not going to turn anybody away, and we'll make sure that there's enough food, and there are going to be some great live and
Where is Mike Ward Maserati?
That's a good question. I live on the North Shore of Kauai, so I'm going to look it up really quick.
Okay, no, we can do that, Mike Ward. Okay. So wait, you moved away?
Yes, I moved away to start this organization.
Wow. Lucent and 470. Lucent and 470. And when will you be coming here? On Saturday morning or what?
I actually won't be there. I've got a board member and some parents that have been to the retreat. They're going to be there and going to be speaking. So we've got
6 to 9.
Yeah.
This Saturday. Lucent and 470. Mike Ward Maserati. How many parents for sure are going so far?
3.
3, and you want to send as many as you
yeah.
can.
Oh no, I'm sorry. There are going to be 3 at the event. No, we've got 30 parents that have already been at retreats, 8 more that are going in December, and then we're trying to do at least 3 retreats next year. So we'd like to get 24 parents.
Do you have speakers at these retreats?
No, it is where I work with them and facilitate doing activities with them, and then they spend most of the day actually being able to get permission to start enjoying life and connecting with each other, and then we come together in the evening. So it's really providing time for them and tools for them to connect with one another.
When did you lose a child?
It was almost 15 years ago now, 2004.
And you didn't know what to do?
Oh no. There's no way you can know. You know, she had been in a coma for 4 months, and even knowing that she was in a coma and that she's going to pass away, you can start the grieving process, but when you actually lose your child and no longer have her there, your whole life is turned upside down.
And then you decided,
before and after.
And you decided to dedicate the rest of your life to helping others who were in the same situation.
Yes. I did, and it took a lot of time to figure out what it was going to be and what would work, and but absolutely.
So this is the 10th. Wait, not the 10th. Is it? How many have you done so far? Retreats?
We've done 4 retreats, and the 5th one is on the calendar for this December.
Okay. All right. So Mike Ward, Maserati, 6 to 9. It's at Lucin and 470. The website is ohana-oasis.com. Raising money at this casino night to send parents to this retreat. A very unusual event. Thank you for telling us about it. John says he hasn't been... Oh, no, John hung up, okay? Val sent a contract and some pictures.
I'm sending those over to you now, Tom.
She's having a problem with basement systems. And then we have Nicole. Well, I think, Nicole, we're done with... Nicole's been on.
Gosh, I didn't realize that, Tom. I didn't realize you took her.
303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So let's load up the lines with some new calls, and you can get right in at 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. If you want straight, beautiful teeth as an adult, and you don't want to go through years and years of orthodontics, and you don't want surgery, and you don't want extractions, and you don't want implants, Aurora Orthodontics has a completely natural system for straightening your teeth, widening your palate without surgery. Using mouthpieces, they absolutely have a way to widen your palate. Your teeth naturally go straight, and for the finishing touches, they put on Invisalign braces, which means the whole process only takes 2 years, and it's a fraction of the cost of cosmetic dentistry. Plus, you realign your jaw, and you do it the natural way, which also helps with TMJ and sleep apneas. Look up the new orthodontics, Dr. Kent Lawson at Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ. Here's that number, 303-690-0100, 690-0100.
This report is brought to you by Amazon. The drive across town in fairly decent shape. No new stalls or accidents being reported across town. I-25 up to speed, even through downtown, looking good from I-70, traveling down south towards 6th Avenue. I-70, a little blip in the elevated portion, otherwise it's looking
You got elk coming through your yard up there and everything?
Always.
I've never seen so many elk.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's funny, there's a guy that he's a much older gentleman, but he was talking about where our subdivision is. He goes, oh, they fought their subdivision because they can ruin the wildlife and such. He goes, Mark, back in that day, we'd see 1 or 2 elk a year. It was now, because of you guys moving in, these subdivisions will be built, and you plant all the things that these elk eat. You scared off the predators. He goes, the elk population is bigger than this. There's actually a problem, you know, like our golf course up there, 2-3 years ago, they were allowed to take 5 elk down. And so,
For you hunting?
yeah, on the golf.
Wow.
And so somebody shot an elk, and they shot it in the afternoon, and the elk went and died right in front of a home. And the kids were watching this elk die. Right,
What did they do with a bull or?
I can't remember. But he died. That was pretty funny. But, so that was the one and only elk the golf course died.
We had a caller call up, and it was Evergreen, and the wife had hit a deer, and it was probably wounded on the road there.
I just wanted to tell you, sorry I'm slamming you a little bit today with promotion stuff, but that's Southbridge Dentistry. You know how they do their veterans thing. Okay.
He probably didn't know what to do, and he was trying to just put out his misery and stuff, you know. But he said, "Oh, that was so terrible and stuff," you know. I bet you he didn't like to do it.
You know, I mean, if they're crossing the road, I'll bump them with my car. And then I get flipped off, I get this. And
from here?
Well, other people on the road. It's like, you know what? You give them a little bump, they're not hurt.
Right.
Get out of the way.
Right. Yeah. I've been there a couple times, and I got to stop. There's a whole. I heard probably 30 of them. You know, we're going across the road.
They're in the middle of a rut right now, so that's always fun. We've got I'm looking at some great videos of a couple of young bucks sparring in our backyard.
Oh, that would be cool.
For about a good 30 minutes.
That would be cool.
It's cool to watch. I mean,
that was so funny when it's like, say, she called up and stuff. That was the meanest thing ever. You know, why didn't you just call 911?
Well, it's going to suffer till
well, right, but they probably didn't even think of that. Right. You know, it's like, you know, he called up, hey, and he comes out there and doesn't have anything, so he takes the hammer.
720-893.
But you know what you do.
Yeah.
The Raleigh House.
It doesn't take you long to come out, go from there to here.
I can eat a mile high. I'm the golden. I can eat it at the bottom of the hill in 8 minutes from my house. So,
it's a fast, kind of some steep roads there, but
developments in modern medicine involves regenerative therapy with stem cells. What's exciting about it? Hey, it's Ross Kaminsky, and how about the possibility
it's a nice place to live. It's a great place to raise kids.
Knee or hip or shoulder,
no inner city problems.
Replaced with a mechanical joint.
Not that there's no problems.
You got Home Depot.
Your own body.
Walmart.
There you go.
Nationwide leaders
Two
in
breweries.
regenerative therapy, which is why I'm doing it myself. Learn more at downtownshealthcare.com.
I got a cabin in Black Hawk, and there's nothing. There's no grocery store.
We're remodeling the reserve casino right now. It's going to be the Grand Z.
Okay.
John Simple bought it, so we're in the middle of remodeling that. So I'm there like almost every day. But yeah, there was nothing there.
There's nothing. And I'm not really sure why more people. I mean, all the workers, I think, are just not all the workers. The majority are coming from buses. And maybe they need some facilities there for people to say, hey, I'm going to live here.
I mean, they had that low-cost housing at the top of Central City, but it's like a dealer makes too much money to stay there, so they need pretty much any house to stay out.
Okay.
And dishwashers and stuff have a low enough wage to stay up
know
there.
that they have it.
Yeah.
Is this an apartment complex up there?
Yeah, it's
okay.
Yeah,
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255, here to help you solve problems, answer questions, and take complaints. If you're looking for a reverse mortgage, approval reverse, okay? The reason I say that is because so many people call and they're told, yeah, great idea, get it. It's not always a great idea. If you have a lot of equity, if you're over 62 and there are other circumstances, it could be a great tool for a line of credit or a lump sum or a monthly payment to you, and you don't have to pay that back until you get rid of your home, either through death or if you move. And Joan Sullivan will explain all of the ins and outs, and it could be a great retirement tool. Maybe not. It's up to you, but she can counsel you. 771-3528, 303-771-3528, approvalreverse.com. So let's go to the phones and find out what's going on, okay? First of all, Val says she has a problem with basement systems. Have you ever heard of those, Mark Szymanski at Genesis Total Exteriors?
I think I've seen like the flyer from the Money Mailer or something like that.
Now, Val, what is going on with basement systems?
Well, we bought the house 2 years ago, and there was a sump pump in the cellar. We decided to improve on it because it was just a $2 bucket with concrete and tar to keep it in, and there was a 1/3 horsepower in there that was keeping up. We still had a couple of inches of water every now and again. So
what does Basement Systems have to do with this?
Well, we called them because they put in they have some pumps and French drains that could be put into your system to relieve any water that's down there, or condensation that's down in the
That's
cellar.
what they do. They don't finish basements?
They may.
Okay.
They have their hands in a lot of things.
Okay, but I see here the system you're talking about is a drainage system.
Correct.
Okay, so what went wrong?
They came in, they did a hard sell. We had to make a quick decision. So we had them come in. We said, okay. We had them come in. They put the drain around the outside edge of the cellar walls in the floor. Then they dropped in a sump pump. There's 3 pumps. There's a 1/3 horsepower, a 1/2 horsepower, and a battery.
So far, I didn't hear the problem, though. What's the problem?
They tapped into the water aquifer. And the water hasn't stopped.
Wait a minute. They actually tapped. How did they go that deep? What do you?
They're not that deep. Where we are, there's an extremely high water table.
And so when they dug the pit, it actually fills up with a natural aquifer.
Yes.
So therefore, they've created more of a problem than they solved.
Absolutely.
Well, Tom, I have a little info to help.
Okay.
So I spoke with, who is George again, Val? He's the water commissioner there?
Yeah, he's with Colorado Groundwater Commission.
Okay, so I spoke with him, Tom, this morning.
For the water district?
Yes, because he has been out to evaluate her situation.
What is going on there?
So there is a farm right next to, a huge farm next to her, and a river that causes a bunch of water to go into this house. Now, what he said about the company she
So it's not
hired,
really an aquifer?
well, there is an aquifer. There's very high water there, he said, that needs to be dealt with.
But this makes it even worse.
But what he told me, if I understood it right, is he's been out there, and that one of the problems is, he's not blaming the homeowner at all, but said that Val wanted the drainage to come out of one side of the house when the company wanted to put that drainage into the drain system on the other side of the house. So now, but since you didn't go with their recommendation, it's causing a big loop of water, Val, that is, the water's not going anywhere, and then it's just, now that's just one part of it, Tom.
But Basement Systems was hired to put in a sump pump, right?
Right.
A pit and a pump, right?
A pit and a pump.
And they did that.
Recommended the French drain.
And he said,
and they did that.
Yes.
So what did they do wrong?
Well, according to this water guy that I spoke to, he said they put 2 pumps that go into 4-inch pipes that go into other 4-inch pipes when they should be going into 8-inch pipes, and maybe didn't put a big enough bucket in for the amount of water. But first, you have to solve where the water's going, Val, and right now, for money reasons, you wanted it to go from one side of the house to the other instead of in this drain system. Do I have that right, Val?
Well, kind of. What had happened was we have a water relief, kind of like a culvert.
Yes.
On the west side of our house.
And you wanted it to go into there?
Well, we wanted to, but they wanted to charge an exorbitant amount.
So where does the water go now?
It just loops.
They floated to the north side of the house.
And just empty. Wait, it daylights? So it daylights out to the ground again?
Yes.
Well, that's not doing any good.
Now, the water guy said why they even did that at her request anyway, they shouldn't have. They should have put the drainage where, the storm drain or whatever.
They're pumping all this water from one side of the house and literally putting it on the surface on the other side of the house.
And it's causing some terrible flooding in her house.
Well,
I sent you pics,
that
Tom.
water needs to go into the storm drain system or some kind of drain system.
Well, we had dug out to the water storm drain system, and it backed completely up.
What do you mean it backed up?
There must be a backup underneath the ground going under the road.
Well, that's a city problem or a county problem.
She's 500 yards from a river, Tom, and then a farm on the other side of her house.
We're a lot further than that from the river.
That's what George said. You were 500 yards from the river.
Well, 500 yards is a long way.
Either way, yeah.
But Val,
we have gone through. Literally,
my point is this.
Failed 4 times.
My point is this that I have to get to. Did Basement Systems do anything wrong or not? If they didn't, your problem isn't with them.
When we sat there and we told them, are you sure that this system should go in? We have an extremely high water table. That, you sure this is...
Well, did they make it worse? They didn't make it worse, did they?
Oh, yeah. I mean, when they opened up the floor, now the water, they gave a place for the water to go.
And
but
where was it going before?
It stayed under the house. I mean, it would come up through small cracks because the house is over 100 years old. So it would still come up through small cracks. But now we have an exorbitant amount of water.
And what the water guy said after assessing it is there's some responsibility with Val, and then the company probably did not put in the correct system. But I'm just trying to play devil's advocate as far as because she didn't want to pay more than she had to.
Are they saying had she done it what they wanted, it would have worked?
I haven't spoke with the company.
Well,
my water guy this morning said had the water been, instead of looping the way it does, had it been drained into the drainage.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but she's saying they went ahead and did put it into the drain system.
And she's burned out 3 sump pumps since they put it in. I'm wondering if they're fed up.
Actually 6.
Oh, pardon me, 6 sump pumps she's burned out since they put it in.
Mark, this sounds crazy. Do you have any clue? This sounds crazy.
No, we've worked with other companies that do this, but yeah, it sounds like it should have been put in a different location.
Or not at all. I don't know. Here's a look at. The only thing I can say is we need to at least talk to Basement Systems first and get their assessment. And the question I would ask them, if I paid you $7,000 to do a drain system for me, why is it worse than it was before? I mean, if they say here's all that has to happen, okay, but I mean, there's got to be something.
May I say this? We were told that if we put a French drain in with their pump system, we would have no more problems.
Well, I believe you. I don't think you'd pay this money to have more problems.
Right.
I mean, I believe you. I do. So hold on. Listen, I want, Southbridge Dentistry, they're friends of ours, and Megan Shepard wants to announce something for veterans. This is for veterans. Megan, what are you guys doing for veterans? This is a wonderful thing you do on Veterans Day.
We are providing a free dentistry event on Friday, November 10th, where we will treat veterans with dental concerns and help get their mouth back in shape.
For how much?
Free. 100% free.
Now listen, people, listen carefully. If you're a veteran, this is free dentistry at a premier dental office, Southbridge Dentistry. And they're good people. And November 10th, do people have to call for appointments or walk in? How does it work?
Absolutely. We do require a consultation prior, so they need to call our office at 303-798-4967. We do a complimentary exam and x-rays with the doctor to predetermine the needs.
So they have to come in before. Okay, so the appointments will be made on Veterans Day. Excuse me, will be seen on Veterans Day, but they have to make an appointment and come in before that, so they need 2 appointments.
Correct.
They need an evaluation first. An evaluation first prior to Veterans Day, and then on Veterans Day you'll do the service.
That is correct.
Are both free?
Yes.
Wow. So they get an evaluation first, free, and then the work they need done, they get done free on Veterans Day.
And it is technically the day before. We're doing it on the Friday.
Okay, that's fine. Right, because it's on Saturday. That's right. This year it falls on a Saturday. That is wonderful. So I want to say this again. Southbridge Dentistry is going to see veterans free of charge to evaluate them. And if they need work, that will be done free of charge in honor of Veterans Day on Friday, November 10th. That is wonderful. And your number is 303-798-4967. I want everyone who knows a veteran to let them know. That's 303-798-4967. This is huge. You get a free consultation prior, and then any work you need will be done Friday, November 10th. Call the dental office, 303-798-4967.
This name, this address, Westfield, Colorado. See if they want to come on and just explain the system, what they did. I just think there's another side to this. I don't think this is an outright rip-off kind of case. I think there's another side. I'm going to give them a call.
Now, is this going to be posted to my referrals right here to this page?
What?
This,
What?
if I put on about the free dentistry.
Yes.
Make sure
You
you
need
put
to
vets.
leave a callback number,
Oh.
tell them to leave it for your
I saved them
associate.
at least 1,000 on that trailer.
With the same people.
Same
Who's in
people.
that, Dennis?
Or
We're going to do it
actually-
live. We'll do it live tomorrow.
Give them myself.
How'd you do it?
Southbridge.
I told them that they'd be on the air and get to talk a little bit.
Who?
The camper people. Windish RV is who it's from. And then we'll convert them into a member.
Hi, I'm Angie, the producer. With fall officially here, I've been getting all of my outfits ready, and honestly, I'm...
That trade-in units, I mean, I can't get over on my set books.
At least I don't have to worry about my hair. Why? Because I use Ovation Cell Therapy, and it makes my hair look good even after season. Before Ovation, my hair was so...
Southbridge,
Hey,
and I constantly get compliments on
most of those pole barn kits, are they pretty straightforward? I mean,
Are you going to put one up?
I'm not going to put it together. I call you or somebody. But I'm saying, are the kits generally pretty good if you buy a, a decent one? Okay.
They offer 100% guarantee for your money back. You have nothing to lose.
Yeah, Sandy, please.
Great hair. Go to Ovation
Mark Major.
select talk radio
Thank-
survey checkout for a special customer discount and
Yep.
free shipping offer
Sure.
for limited time.
Yep.
Get the details at Ovation.
720-841-6890.
Get there now. The free shipping offer.
Just tell her Mark Major with the Martino Show.
Broadcast radio reaches more people
Thanks.
in America than TV. Yeah, AM/FM radio. Radio that's free in your car.
Yeah, I've been looking at quite a few of them.
Broadcast radio reaches more adults. TV,
But you definitely want to put them on a slab, right?
I would. Yeah.
Broadcast radio reaches 90% of Americans every week. That's bigger than TV, Facebook, and Google. If you're a marketer who needs to reach,
I got a good concrete guy,
visit
too.
iHeartMedia.com for one place. Everyone is listening. AM/FM radio.
My neighbors get their driveway. Their driveway's probably $80,000.
For tarring?
No, concrete.
Why do they want concrete?
I got concrete on mine.
They got little stickers in the car.
I don't know. But if they get it done, then I think I could squeeze that guy pretty heavy to get mine done at the same time.
Is yours cracking?
No, I'm thinking of getting a pole barn. Actually, it's more of a garage. I mean, I don't know why it's called a pole barn. But
Well, they are pole barns because the structure is not the structure is held up by poles, and the frame is built on a pole. It's a really sound structure. But then, if you want to put a floor in, it has to be completely detached. The floor is a separate slab, or it's dirt.
Yeah, now that's what I was asking, but I do a slab.
So it's a slab on grade. Then the poles are literally built around it.
Not on the cement.
It shouldn't be because of that cement.
Yeah, the slab is not going to hold it.
Oh, I see. It's like a house. You're gonna pier it down.
You're going to do pier on the outside of the slab.
You put I got
You put the poles right on the outside. So the inside of the frame will meet the slab. The outside will be
just like a floating basement, basically, right?
well, kind of, except with a floating basement they do it a little differently, but it's kind of like that. So the slab moves; it doesn't pull you, push up or pull. Yeah,
The whole barn.
And I know who all
There's some nice ones that have like apartments upstairs.
Denver.com. The ones who
Our neighbors have that's funny, our neighbors have a doghouse. Legitimately, a beautiful doghouse, probably the size of this in that room there. And they have show dogs that have their own fucking house. Isn't that incredible?
It's cleaned and sanitized.
They bring over the bitches. Yes, the bitches.
Literally.
It's the only time you can say that.
Clean, fresh, clean. You can feel the difference.
Why do you want cement? If you did like crushed asphalt, you want to be able to sweep it and have it real nice.
No, I'm going to put a floor in.
Right, saying, why do you want
I put probably that vinyl LVT or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you don't want just like park your bus. You want it for
carpet without residue.
storage.
No. A little apartment.
Going out of town?
The apartment's on top. You could park something underneath. I mean,
these garage.
I would put stuff. I got a tractor, man. My tractor's in my third car garage.
Oh,
no, it wouldn't fit in the barn I have now.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show. We have Genesis Total Exteriors with us. They also do interiors as well. We're talking about your problems, questions, and complaints. We're going to investigate that problem with basement systems. They seem to have put a French drain and a sump pump in that Val says made more problems than she had originally. So I think a fair question is, what did you do and why did you do it? If I paid you over $7,000 to do it. Meanwhile, get your calls in with any problems you may have. Any problems, questions, or complaints. Call us, please. Kevin, you want to talk about an emergency room bill. What's going on, Kevin?
Yeah, I walked into error on my part. Thought you see 24-hour care. I thought it was an urgent care.
God, this happens so much. We get weekly. Yeah, we get calls or emails all the time, but they should be very clear with you when you walk in. This is an emergency room because it is so much more expensive. I think the base bill is $3,500.
Probably more.
Just the base.
How much was your bill?
$1,689. I walked in
Wait,
for a
$1,600?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's good. So you walked in with what?
With a sinus infection, so they can give me a prescription to get an antibiotic.
Jeez, that's crazy.
And so when you walked in with a sinus infection, did they say to you, sir, are you sure you want to go to an emergency room?
No.
They didn't say anything to you?
Nothing at all.
Come on.
I don't think they do, Tom. It's part of their business model. They seem to want to trick the public.
It was a UC one? Where was it?
On Lincoln, and I'm not sure exactly what it's, towards Parker off of Lincoln Street.
Yep.
It happens so many times. I mean, it must be part of their business model.
It's on Lincoln and Jordan, isn't it?
I think it's a few blocks down from Jordan towards Parker Road.
I've seen it. Big sign. Emergency room.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's my error, definitely.
Well, what does your insurance say?
Well, my insurance is Kaiser, so it's not in a Kaiser network.
Why did
he's screwed?
Coverage.
What do you do for an emergency with Kaiser?
They have clinics like down in the tech center. I think there's two, one in Highlands Ranch.
No, I meant for an emergency.
Like after hours.
Yeah, they're after hours.
I'm not talking about urgent. I'm talking about if you had a true emergency.
Well, then you go to the emergency room.
Anywhere.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, and they pay for it.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you consider
not
what they call coverage now, paying for it, I guess so.
Okay,
but yes.
Geez.
And so when I called to ask him, I said, when I got that bill, I called, can you tell me what services you're saying you did to me for this amount of money?
It doesn't matter. The visit itself.
That's the cheapest I've ever heard in one of these calls.
I've ever heard. Now, did they offer to lower it?
What happened is, I'm sorry, I was right with you. When I called Kaiser, they called them and they did lower it by $300. So now it's $1,389.
I don't think it would have been much less. I mean, urgent care. What do you think urgent care would have been?
Probably the same, honestly.
Not quite. It'd be a little cheaper.
$1,300. I mean, these guys get you for so much.
I am shocked.
What time did you go? I'm curious.
It was about 7 o'clock in the evening.
Suzanne, what time do those ones close at
The
Kaiser?
urgent cares close about 9.
So you just in the future, Kaiser's got a few facilities around that are open till 9. It's $75 total.
Yeah, exactly. I know that now.
I really, Kevin, I don't
expecting, like, when I found out it was emergency room, as I know I've been to urgent cares, I was expecting $350 to $500.
Now, when did you find out?
When I got the bill.
You didn't find out afterwards?
No.
I mean beforehand. You didn't. They didn't say a word to you. You walked in an emergency room and you said, "I have a sinus infection."
We've had these discussions. If they tried to discourage him or anybody from walking in, I think there'd be a legal issue.
I walked in and they told me flat out, we have two sections. The emergency room is this way, urgent care is that way. Urgent care is closed now. We can see you in the emergency room, but if we do, the base price will be $3,500.
Wow.
They told me straight up.
You'd be better off just going to Skyridge or a real hospital.
And I can't.
I've known that. I mean, they discuss nothing with me whatsoever.
You're going to just negotiate the best you can. There's nothing you're going to do.
Really?
Okay.
I mean, unless you want to just, if you want to just challenge the system and say, look, I thought, but they did render service to you.
Yes.
I don't know what they
Can't
did.
deny that, yes.
You might walk down with cash in hand and just say, "Hey, listen, will you take 1,000?" I mean, something.
God, this sucks. 303-713-TALK. Mark.
Yes, sir.
Douglas County Diesel. Do you have a follow-up for Matt? So we can take it, but I need to.
Yeah, well, they didn't do that pump. I mean, I looked into this probably way further. The one pump that he's having an issue with now
is one they did not replace.
They did not replace.
We're going to talk about it coming back. I want to talk about that more at length. And speaking of home improvements, we do have Genesis Total Exteriors with us, and somebody wants to know as far as an addition to the home, do additions have to be tied in at the foundation level, or can you do a slab? And do they have to be tied? Are they required to be tied at a foundation level, or can you make it look like it's all one structure? Do you know the answer to that?
I don't know 100%, but I mean, normally I think we usually drill in and then rebar the new foundation to it, so you're not going to have any separation.
I don't know why they're asking this, but I wonder if that's required by code.
I'd have to look that up.
It depends on where they are.
Right. Because right there, I would have my foundation company, who's pouring that slab and doing that foundation. That'd be their expertise.
As far as, but you don't have to pour a basement under it, though. I mean, or dig out a basement, right? You can. Right. You've done additions.
You still have to put footers in and such.
Footers, right? Yeah. You can't just do a slab on grade.
No.
Okay. So footers would be a wall, kind of like just what's the word for it? It's not really a wall, but they're spread footers underneath.
Spread footers under the ground, which you're going to need to spread the load of the roof or the walls and the roof of the structure you're building next to it.
Okay, and those are usually tied in to the foundation.
You can do a sunroom without footer.
You can.
Yeah, a sunroom.
Now, what is a sunroom done on?
Well, you can do that on a slab. Just lightweight construction materials, so you don't have as many regulations as you do as put an addition on.
Okay, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255.
This report is brought to you by Farmers Insurance.
Some delays downtown on the drive.
I can't get over the cameras, Tom. I just can't get over it. They've been up 5 days. 2 of them are still at 100% battery. One's at 98, and the other's at 99. How the hell? That's the best battery technology I've ever seen. They're little Arlos. They're incredible.
We only change ours every couple of months.
This says these pros, they say it should last 6 months, and I'm starting to believe it. And they're full video.
Battery for what?
They're little Arlo cameras. Like here's look at this. I mean, it's not even like still shots or anything. I'm connecting to one of them right now. So that's live right now. I mean, you can see my flag. Look at this.
Yeah, because I have
6 months.
I have a camera system outside my house, but
you got to run the cord.
Everything's running through the.
Everything it's this big. The battery's like a little cube, no bigger than this. But it's the heaviest part. But it looks like an egg with a cube in it.
How much do those cost?
They're fucking not cheap, but I mean, they're well worth it.
Yeah, see, I have problems in my house with people egging my house. There's some.
And these I can put up to.
I do.
100. One of them's 150 feet away from the inside of my house.
Right.
I got about a little under 700.
Right.
Yeah, it goes to its own hub.
Okay.
It's got its own hub, and everything's on the cloud, so if someone did break in and steal all your shit or steal the camera, you have them stealing the camera.
Right.
Because right now I have on the house pointing out, but I'd like some on the trees pointing toward.
That's what that one is.
Because they can sneak around.
Yep. That's exactly what that one is.
I caught them the first time with an elk or a wildlife camera.
How old were they?
Well, I know they live a block away from us. We've had trouble since they moved in. He's a punk. He gets kicked out of school all the time. He tried getting my son kicked off the bus when he was younger.
See, the one thing I'll say about where I live, you'd be fucking crazy. Someone would shoot you out here. I'm telling you, someone would fucking shoot you if you were sneaking around.
So, I caught him in my garage once.
Oh, really?
Oh,
I went in my truck and he opened the garage door.
What'd you say to him?
Well, I chased after him. I'm in my underwear and
you knew it was the same kid?
Yeah.
Did you call the parents or they don't give a shit?
Call the cops.
Yeah. Did he get in trouble?
No, because I have no proof. I mean, I saw him, but I have no video.
Yeah, you can't prove it.
Right.
Shoot, man, I'd be livid.
Depending on the cops, boy, they'll even with your
Well,
word.
they've been to his house. They've talked to the parents. I mean,
Parents probably, kids getting kicked out all the time. Parents' hands are probably somewhat tied. I mean, who knows?
It's a typical divorced parent,
No parent is basically what I'm saying.
And then he's remarried, and he's got a set of twins. And
No, these are the best I've ever seen, man. It's just purely all in that battery.
What's the brand?
Arlo. It's made by Netgear. ARLO. There's nothing else like it. First time I heard about it was Tom, but his would, yeah, you got that years ago, didn't you? Or at least a year and a half ago.
What's that?
But
Oh, yeah.
the first version, the batteries weren't this good. These are incredible.
And then they're rechargeable, so
Yeah, every 6 months. Oh, and here's the other part. Now, one of them I bought extra mounting for a tree and a camouflage. Can't even see the camera, which is cool. But if you have interior ones, you put a magnet. The mounting plate's a magnet, and the camera's got metal in it. So basically, you just grab the camera, charge it, and pop it up. You're not unscrewing anything. I mean, they really thought out the ease of.
So we're talking $100 a piece or more?
A 3-pack with the one base unit. The base unit will hold up to 15, but a 3-pack with the base unit is $500. Each additional camera is $179, and that includes a free 3 cloud for 7 days.
Has there been a Raleigh house recently?
You pay $100 for the year. You get 30 days storage. So all cameras.
I'd like to do one here. Get it
And
over
the
with.
interface. If you've ever set up cameras like these, shit, there's nothing easy about any of them.
Actually, now, Ross Kaminsky, mornings at 5 on Denver's Talk Station, 630 K-How.
Yeah, my old ones I still have up, like probably like.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. This email happens to ask about something that is near and dear to my heart and a sponsor of the show. They want that hotline number. The Raleigh House is doing something unique in the addiction treatment world. We've decided to establish this hotline where anyone can call about any concerns about addiction. Now, if you're an addict yourself, you can call. But this is mostly for people who have addicts in their life. You want to know about the treatment? At Raleigh House, it's 90 days. They can tell you about other various treatments. And at Raleigh House, it's medical and behavioral both. And they can tell you about various options. They can tell you about costs, about insurance. But most of all, they can tell you how to approach the addict in your life. They can even schedule interventions if you want one. They do it all through you if you want to call and be the conduit. If you have a loved one, I urge you to do it, because addiction will never get better on its own. Ever. 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 Here's this hotline for any questions. It's free. It's complimentary. Even if you never plan to go to the Raleigh House, call them for help. 720-893-5559. It's completely confidential. 720-893-5559. All right, now, Matt called, and he had a very complicated fuel system in his truck that needed to be cleaned out and fixed because of some bad fuel. And he went to Douglas County Diesel, and they replaced some pumps because didn't one of the pumps explode and aluminum went all over? And they replaced a bunch of parts and basically rebuilt your fuel system, except for one of the pumps.
Yeah, one of the low pressure pumps.
Yeah, because it wasn't damaged, and they said, why charge for that?
Yeah.
They replaced one other low pressure pump in the tank, and another one a high pressure pump, and some other parts, right, Mark?
That's right.
And then he was concerned because now he's having trouble again, and the trouble he's having is with the one pump they did not replace. Is that right?
Yes, but I think it went beyond that. I think the issue with that one pump has now created more problems where the thing's got to be all cleaned out again and other parts replaced. Is that correct, Dan? You talked to the company on it. But on top of that, they might have contamination in their holding tanks for diesel fluid at the place.
Right, but did Douglas County Diesel... We wanted to know, did they do an incomplete job the first time?
Well, and it's hard to say. I mean, the guy spent $10,000. If they tested that pump, which they said they did, and it registered whatever PSI, it's working, so why would you sell it to them? I mean, that's a real deal. The reason I dug into it so much is I didn't realize there was 2 low-pressure pumps on this vehicle, and sure enough, there are.
There are.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you did get one of them replaced. That's why it's on your invoice. But you didn't get the one replaced that's giving you trouble.
I mean, all the diagrams I have, it's only a sending unit in the tank that tells the fuel gauge what to go on. There's no pump in the tank.
What were you saying, Dan?
No, there's definitely a pump in the fuel tank.
Oh, yeah. And there's also one on the rail, and then there's one, like, what, in between?
Yep,
Dan?
in between.
Right, 2 low-pressure pumps and then the high pressure that goes to the injector.
You know, they told me that they offered to... Does everything got to be redone again? That's the one part I didn't quite understand.
Yeah, does all their work have to be redone?
I believe so.
So like $10,000 again, right?
That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, my God.
Well, I'm pretty sure they said they do it for half price or something along those lines. If truly $9,500 needs to be redone and they're willing to do it for half price, I mean, if you bring it anywhere else, it's going to be $10,000 again. You know what I'm saying?
But didn't they want you to test the fuel in the tank?
We did. I have 3 other diesel trucks, so along with the dump truck, we run 200 to 300 gallons of fuel a week out of that tank, and I have no issues with any of my other vehicles in this time frame.
I thought they said a couple of your vehicles had the similar issues.
You know, maybe call, just for the heck of it, is it down there? Where is the vehicle?
At the shop.
Maybe just for the heck of it, why don't you call someone like Norris at SOS? It's going to cost you $100, but honestly, man, it'll give you a good peace of mind. If I was in your position, I'd spend the $110 to have Norris come out, look at everything, talk to the guys down there. We never get complaints on those guys, but this, I'd be upset if I dropped 10 grand and I'm looking at another 5. But that's what I'm saying. Have Morris come out, look at it, make sure you understand what happened. That might be the best way, man. That'll let you sleep at night.
Right. Okay. Well, I was unaware there's 3 pumps, so I guess we'll check into that a little further.
Yeah.
Okay, and I would give them a chance to work on that. 303-713-TALK. What's going on, Larry?
Yes, sir.
What's happening, Larry?
I'm living up in the mountains in a small town, so I'd really rather not mention the town's name.
Okay, that's fine.
At least on air, because
No, that's
I'd
fine.
like to be able to drive back through town.
Okay, that's fine.
I was pulled over Thursday by an officer that informed me that my brake lights were out. I informed him that I'd just been at the Chinese restaurant and had food and had a beer.
Why did you inform him of that?
Because he said he could smell the beer.
Oh, I see. And you said, oh, I just had dinner. Okay, and a beer.
I mean, I just drove out of the driveway, and he pulled me over. And so we went through that whole discussion, and I did the stupid human tricks on the side of the road, and he decided he'd like to take me in and test me. I insisted on a blood test, knowing that my breath would be up since I had just had a beer.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I don't want you to run out of time. Stay in there, and we will come right back to you. Let's talk about this problem and more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show, 303-713-TALK.
never do the stupid human tricks.
This is what I'm going to say.
Even if you're totally sober,
I do them.
Most people can't pass it.
Well, the one thing I can't do, you could put a gun in my head. I can't say my ABCs
But they can't
backwards.
convict you.
I don't even know. It's crazy.
But they can bring you in all the time.
I'd have to go Z, A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J,
Mark.
K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U.
So this is what he's going to say. So they bruised him with the needle, wham.
What do you mean bruised him?
When they did the blood test. Then he goes home, and a few days later, the police officer that pulled him over calls him and says, "My boss thinks I was too nice to you. You need to come in so we can issue you more tickets." That's what he's going to say.
More tickets.
I never heard of that
Never.
before.
Is this, I think it was Park County.
We should ask them on
No,
there.
it's, yeah, because that was there's a Chinese restaurant right at the edge of the county.
Really?
And they're famous for doing that shit.
Park County.
Larry, can you tell me off the air
Right
the
in front
county?
of a restaurant.
Usually they don't do it to locals.
Chapey?
Is it?
Park County.
Okay, thanks. Hang on.
What the hell?
Chapey.
Oh, Shapey County?
Chapey.
So do you go up to Gilpin a lot there, Gilpin County there? I love that county. I really do. I love that county.
Oh, we go, we go to, I got a Jeep, so we go four-wheel driving up there.
Okay.
Shoot some guns up there.
Man, this is an
old
Because the county is very small county. And the county, the casinos pay for so much.
Prescribed the anti-anxiety drug diazepam in June. As federal investigators effort more information from Mary Lou Danley, the gunman's girlfriend, who returned to the U.S. last night from the
Well, I don't know how much
Philippines.
goes to
Sources
county,
also
but I
tell
mean, a lot of
Fox
it goes
News that
to the state,
$100,000 in weapons
No,
have been seized.
my-
In the hotel room,
My property taxes are less than a third.
Las Vegas.
of the same guy in house where
Rex
it's-
Tillerson denied an ABC report he had to be talked out of quitting this summer. He won't confirm or deny.
I didn't know that.
President Trump is a moron.
Okay.
Today, smart.
Like the outside, the fancy old-time paintwork, you know, the stripe.
And the inside's got it too, all the electrical.
Fox News. We report. Unitime.
And that's a good deal if you're in a historic.
This report is brought to you by Farmers
Oh, they
Insurance.
help pay for it?
All the stuff down in downtown.
I first looked for my first place up there. It's really old. There's a lot of foundation issues out there.
Oh, yeah, because they're so old.
They're old, they're on
They're
hillsides.
built on rock.
Yeah.
Farmers
So
agents
you
to
put
help
some rock and
decide whether
concrete,
you're ready
you know,
for the
cement
journey
together,
ahead. Find
hold
an
the
agent at
foundation.
farmers.com.
There's talks of putting a convention center there.
Really? There's talks when they put the water treatment place that they're going to build a golf course up there. No idea where you put a golf course up there.
Where?
Where
you are?
Central City, yeah. There's not enough flat area.
Oh my God, road.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah. That's another ball. Lost another ball.
R17. I've been on that road. It's like a baby road now, but when I first, when we'd have relatives out and go up there, I'd always take it because it's. Have you ever been on it?
We go up there all the time.
Love it. I'd always bring them up there, but man, it's changed over the years. Now it's like it's not as scary.
No, not at all.
You get a frisbee golf course.
Do you remember way back when? How long you been in Colorado?
22 years.
When we first moved here, that's about the same as me. There was some whacked out dude up there taking pot shots across the mountain at some black guy that lived in a little old shack up there off Oh My God Road. So you have one house about 2 miles away. The sheriff wouldn't do anything about it. He was called out numerous times and basically wouldn't do anything about it. Well, the guy ended up suing the sheriff's department, Gilpin County, and getting millions of dollars because the sheriff wouldn't do anything. The guy was literally, like, I don't know if he was trying to kill him or not. He was so far away. But he'd be shooting little 22s and stuff at him all the time. But the whole thing ended up being on 60 Minutes in 2020.
I'm feeling down, and I do appreciate you being around.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. This hour brought to you by John Fuller, Fuller Law, personalinjuryco.com. If you're injured, and I don't care what it's about, if you're injured due to the negligence of someone, even if you're not sure, if it's a traffic accident or any other way, I urge you to get help because there's no charge for an initial consultation. Fuller Law, John Fuller, personalinjuryco.com. Don't put your guard down and think you can negotiate with insurance people on your own. In fact, don't negotiate with anyone on your own. And there's no charge for this initial consultation, and your attorney only collects if you collect. And trust me, I would say in 99.99999% of the cases, you cannot negotiate as well as an attorney, and it more than makes up for their part, especially John Fuller, 303-597-4500, 303-597-4500. Okay, so Larry said, and by the way, we have Genesis Total Exteriors with us, Mark Szymanski, if you have any questions, and I will talk a little more about his solar windows. They're pretty phenomenal. And remember, we make the deal. If you have something you're ready to buy, we want to do it for you, and we can save you money. Larry said he ate at a Chinese restaurant, had a beer. On his way home, the officer stops him and says, we need you to take a roadside sobriety check. He does it.
They gave me the option of either a breathalyzer or a blood test.
And then you said?
I said I'd take a blood test.
Okay, then what?
So we go to the fire department, where the fire department is supposed to do the blood draw up here.
Okay.
I don't know why that is.
Because the paramedics or the EMTs.
Yeah. Well, they messed up on the blood draw and bent one needle and broke another one and didn't draw right and only got a half a bottle on one and then had to ask for another bottle and messed up on the blood draw altogether.
Meaning what? They did not draw?
Well, they treated my arm like a pincushion and I got a bruise on it.
But did they eventually get enough blood to do a test?
They said they did.
Okay.
Okay. So finally then they go, if you take a breathalyzer, it's not municipal in court, but if you're in the DWAI or driving while impaired area, you can go back to your car. I did the breathalyzer and passed that. So they took me back to the car. That's fine and all that's over with, and then it comes in today that the officer calls up and says...
No, were you charged that night?
I was given a ticket for driving while impaired.
Okay.
Or that afternoon.
Okay.
So that afternoon I was given a ticket for that and released. And that was it. Today he calls up and says his boss said he wasn't mean enough, or he was too nice to me, and I need to come in and sign more tickets.
Like how? Well, for what? Tickets for what, though? I don't understand.
I don't know. Open container.
Oh.
He didn't ever charge me with stoplight, tail light being out. I don't know what else he's got.
I understand. I'm
just.
Unfortunately, I think that's pretty normal. I mean, what happened to him isn't normal, but they'll ask you to come in and do this.
Yeah, I mean, they're allowed to do supplement tickets.
They are allowed to do supplement tickets?
Yes, they are.
Tickets you get.
Yep.
Sometimes if you don't plead guilty when you go in for a court date, say for a speeding ticket, and you want to go forward with a trial, they'll start tacking stuff on.
They suck when they do that, man.
That's not fair.
It doesn't seem fair. You know what? It sucks. Now, listen, Joe Lazzara can help you. He's a criminal defense attorney. He does DUIs. I'm serious. He can help you. And you should call. Don't ever try to do it alone. Trust me, especially under your circumstances.
No, that's why I was calling today, because you give out information.
Now, Joe, no, he's a good guy, and I have to tell you, your circumstances are weird, and they may simply, like, especially if they don't still have the open container or anything, he may be able to help you. Did you actually have an open container?
There was one open container in the car.
Why did you do that?
Because I had it with lunch. They didn't serve beer in the Chinese restaurant. I ate in the parking lot.
No. Listen, Joe, Joe may be able to help you. You know that? So, Larry, hold on. Here's his number. 303-429-6200. 303-429-6200. LazzaraLegal.com. L-A-Z-Z-A-R-A. LazzaraLegal.com.
That's great. They didn't serve beer in the Chinese restaurant.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean the guy was drunk. Or did they find him drunk? No, DWAI, just barely.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, Larry. You were under the influence. You weren't drunk. You were under the influence with just one beer. Honest to God, just one?
Well, at that time, I'd only had one.
Yeah, he had a few before that time.
Well, I'd had one for breakfast, to tell you the truth.
All right, Larry. Okay.
Oh, he lives up in a small town. What are you going to do?
Breakfast for champions.
Loy has a comment on that water pump. You're talking about the sump pump?
Yeah, this is...
The woman said she had a sump pump put in and a drain system, and it actually opened up to more drainage because of the high water table, and it's worse than it was. Yes, Suzanne?
So we called them. The guy is looking into it and is going to call us back later today.
And that was Basement Systems, right?
That's correct.
Okay, so Loy, what's your comment on that?
Well, definitely what they did, pumping it around and back onto the water up on the lawn, was absolutely wrong. Susan mentioned, they went from a 2 4s to an 8, or 2 4s to a 4, and that necessarily isn't wrong, because you've got 3 sump pumps, or probably 1.5 or 2 inch pipes. You got to do the math for a square inch. You've got, if they're 2 inch, it's pi r squared, and so 2 4-inch pipes is less than 1 8-inch pipe. And you wouldn't have the 2 4 inches. They probably just went from the 3 2 inches to a 4, and then joined that together.
Yeah, and that doesn't. I don't think anybody was questioning that part of it. That was like one of the most.
I just wanted to make sure that Susan knew that.
Okay. Now, what about, you said you had a comment on the dental office doing the Veterans Day.
I just said thank you for bringing that up. I'm a vet. I've already set up.
Did you call them? Great. They're great people.
They do it every year.
Southbridge Dentistry. It's 303-798-4967. Now listen carefully. You have to call for an appointment to get screened first. Once they find what needs to be done, then you get that done on the day before Veterans Day, November 10th. So call, if you're a veteran, for free dentistry, 303-798-4967.
That made me think of something. There's a small company that's doing great things for vets. They're raising a bunch of money for the shooting in Vegas for medical bills. How come hospitals never do that? How come when there's a mass shooting or something like that and hospitals and doctors have filled up, how come they don't waive their prices? Why? That little companies do great things all the time. Why don't medical centers in places like that do good things?
I actually don't know. I mean, I think probably because of bureaucracy. That's all I can say. You're right. Small companies like a smaller boat, they can steer quicker. These big vessels take a long time to turn. They really do.
Yeah, but people are going to go bankrupt out of this, and they were just, they were shot at, a lot of them killed, and families destroyed, and then they're going to get hit with medical bills they can't afford. It just pisses me off.
Let's talk to Flint. Flint.
Yes.
What's happening?
Hey, I've got a problem with the timeshare. Hey, feel like an idiot.
With a timeshare? What happened?
Well, okay, I entered in with Timeshare Exit Team.
Are they taking care of you? Because here, let me tell you why. We've had a lot of complaints about them, and what happened was they said they got hooked up with a law firm that dropped a lot of cases or delayed them, and everyone we've sent to them so far, they've said they've helped. So tell me what's going on. How long has it been?
2.5 years.
Okay, we need to get you directly to the president.
I already did.
Did you talk to Brandon?
Brandon Reed. He said he'd take care of me one way or another.
Good. Excellent. So what are you calling about then if he said he would take care of you?
Well, it just kept going and going. He said...
Wait. When did he tell you that?
About 4 months ago.
Oh, no. So what's happening with you right now?
He sent my money back.
Oh.
Because they couldn't get me out.
Okay.
They said they wanted to keep working on it. But if I'm going to work on it on this end and they're going to work on that end, that's not good.
Well, at least you got your money back.
Did it destroy your credit out of curiosity?
Oh, yeah. We've got 2.5 years of non-payment with them. Here's the crazy thing.
Yeah.
About a year ago, they said they had me quit claim it to one of their associates.
Yeah.
And I did because I trusted them. And then they had me call the timeshare, and I worked out a deed in lieu of for $2,000.
Oh.
When the timeshare company found out that I didn't have the deed, they backed out and sent my money back.
Oh, damn.
And
why don't
they had me...
Why don't you do that? Try that deed in lieu of again.
I did. They won't accept it. They want $15,000 now. total. And I'm talking with the timeshare now, but they won't return calls very often.
You know, we group, and I got to tell you, he'll talk to you for free, man, and just see what even if you're just getting advice, he'll help you out. But that's all this guy does, and he's the actual guy that does it.
Yeah, if you've gotten your money back so far, let's start from square one. Let's try that. Let's just try it. Let's hook them up with the Finn Law Group. Listen, you know what happened with Timeshare Exit Team? There was no excuse, but they did come through on most everyone I sent back through. And if you want, we'll do that too. But, geez, it sucks. It really does. The thing is, though, let's remember, he hasn't paid for 2 years, so at least he saved that money. I mean, it's not like he's been paying, so there's got to be some money somewhere. Paul, you have some comments on the recent happenings in Vegas, and I'm allowing people to voice opinions. As I said, this is not a political show, but you can't ignore giant events like that, and we've talked about various aspects of it. Go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, you know, the NRA raised a lot of money to give politicians and everybody else. Why don't they step up and help with some of these bills for these people that got shot?
Amen.
I haven't seen them step up and give a dime to anybody at Sandy Hook or any place else, but they sure got a lot of money to give to politicians.
That's a good point. That is a good point.
And lobbyists, of course.
That's a really good point. That would go a lot for PR, too, wouldn't it? Or do you think they're trying to stay away from it because they don't want to appear like they have a guilt complex?
Well, I understand their website's been completely blank since the shooting, so I think they're running as fast and as far as they can.
Wait. The NRA site's been blank? I doubt it.
Yep. It's been blank since the shooting. They have not had a comment since the shooting.
Well, you say blank, but I have the NRA site, and it comes up right away. Their site's still there.
He's saying they're not commenting.
They're not adding comments.
Oh, but but their site doesn't have. It isn't a comment site. It's not that kind of site.
And the reality is, why would they comment on this? I mean, there's nothing. They're going to say it's tragic.
Help out a little bit.
But come on, really, Paul, what would you have them say? Help me out here.
I would have them contribute to some of this carnage that they contributed to.
How have they contributed to this carnage?
They have fought every single, no matter how trivial issue it is. Everybody. I don't have anything against people having guns, but there's a point in this country where it becomes ridiculous. We're the laughing stock of the world.
But Paul, do you think gun control?
No, wait. Okay,
Paul,
you can go to Afghanistan. There's 9-year-olds running around with AKs. So that's a little different, man.
That isn't America. We're a civilized country.
But Paul,
here.
Can I ask you something? Do you feel that gun control would have stopped this? Really? Do you?
It wouldn't have. I don't want gun control. I don't think that the average person on the street needs an automatic weapon, a military-grade automatic weapon.
But do you think?
No,
I don't, Paul. I don't. But don't you think that people could still get a hold of them anyway if they're criminal anyway? I mean.
Well, why don't we just make it easy? Why don't we just issue them with your driver's license? Why don't we give you an AK-47?
Or make ammunition real expensive so people think about before they shoot.
Listen, look at...
My wife wants to tax bullets.
Paul.
I sure do.
Guys, Paul, I can't tell you I have any answers. But I don't think the fundamental problem is the availability of guns. I think it's the mindset of people.
Let's think of reality here. Can you imagine a cop showing up at people's homes all around Colorado saying, "Give me your semi-automatic weapons"? My God, the entire country would implode within a month.
No, it wouldn't.
Oh, okay.
But
Paul, come tear guns away from people.
But Paul, I agree with you. There are some arms that, come on. I mean, I don't see why people need those kinds of guns, but who am I to say that's going to stop anything? If I know this, I know this, Paul.
Do you think Sandy Hook was justified in a civilized society when little?
Of course not, Paul.
What kind of country? What kind of
Paul?
country do we have?
Of course not. What are you talking about? Of course it's not justified. Nothing like that is. I'm not talking about justifying anything. I'm asking a question. Do you think that gun control would stop people from murdering people with guns?
If the ammunition was real expensive, Tom, it might.
Oh, Suzanne.
I don't want gun control. I want reasonable limits put on the ownership of these.
What do you do with all the guns now, then? What do you do with all the ones that are out there now? Confiscate them?
Or make them register them? I don't know.
Register them?
Hey, Paul.
That wouldn't have stopped this guy.
Did we figure out how this guy got that gun, by the way?
He bought them all. He bought everything legally.
But didn't he have an automatic?
No.
It wasn't?
Technically, he did not have an automatic.
Then how did he shoot that thing?
It's called a bump stock, and you can buy them. And what it does is it makes your finger move quick, for lack of understanding it completely.
Oh, but the momentum.
The recoil.
The recoil.
So your finger hits the trigger, so technically it is a semi-automatic weapon.
That's why it didn't sound like this. It sounded like this.
Yes, that's right.
That was the difference.
It's called a bump stock.
Well, Paul, listen, man. I'm not the one with the answers. I feel like we need to do something, but I only want to do something if it truly would do something. I would be all for any law that could stop people from murdering people. I would be campaigning for any law that would do that. Anything.
This guy bought everything legally. There's no way we would have stopped this guy. He's just a lunatic. There's nobody could have stopped this guy.
Paul, do you at least concede that no law would have made a difference in this case?
He had the same stuff in his car McVeigh had. It looked like he was going to blow up a casino as well. So even if he didn't have the gun, this guy was intent on killing people.
What do you think, Paul? Really, I'm just asking a question. Do you think it would have made a difference?
I don't want restrictions on gun ownership.
Paul, I'm not asking that.
This guy sounds like a liberal politician. I'm pretty sure he's a politician.
Just stop.
No,
Paul,
there you go, getting into politics again. Why don't
Paul, I'm not.
Face reality.
Paul, I'm not.
Paul did not deserve to die. I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat.
Paul,
those
just stop.
Didn't deserve to die. Those people at that concert did not deserve to die.
Of course they didn't.
And we could that automatic weapon modification thing. There's no reason to sell that stuff. What is the point? You're gonna how many times can you shoot a deer, Mark?
Paul, I'm
hoping they get rid of those bump stocks. So wait a minute. I don't see a need for those either.
Paul, listen. I asked you a question. You never answer it. No one deserves to die like that. I asked you a question and you're not answering. Do you think any kind of legislation would have stopped what happened?
Reasonable legislation would have made a difference. Those people their handguns cannot shoot back at that guy in that.
So he's saying less people would have died, okay? I'm trying to get a straight answer from you. Let's talk to Al Aramis right now about I want to get away from that because I don't want to get into that, but Al, at Pro Auto Care, you're doing a special that everyone's got to like for the next 5 callers for each location, right?
Yes, Tom. What we're doing is bringing them in. Let's get your car ready. Winter's around the corner. Your fluids probably need to be checked, topped off. Your oil needs to get changed. We're going to put synthetic blend oil, premium filter, rotate your tires, put the tire pressure where it needs to be, test your battery, charging system. We're going to do that all for $14.95. We do all repairs and maintenance on all makes and models. Been doing it for 25 years.
I'll tell you what, $14.95 is unbelievable.
You can't go to the store and buy it.
No, you can't. You absolutely can't. For all of that, just call for the $14.95 special. Come on. 303 Pro Auto, 2 locations near Evans and I-25, near Bowles and Santa Fe. That's 303 Pro Auto.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Center.
Big delays on I-25 traveling downtown.
Yes, we all wish things were different. I mean, that's nice.
You keep saying, oh, those kids didn't deserve. Of course they didn't deserve to die.
I know, like you.
That last comment you made was like pretty much attacking just rifles in general. Not even a car.
I do like the idea that when you get one with your driver's license. At least you could justify the pricing or something.
And that should be paid by the government.
And then tax the war.
People forget, really, the reason we have that is to protect ourselves from our own government. If our own government has machine guns, there's an argument to be made that you should have a machine gun. Oh, here we go.
I agree with you.
I've been asking for a nuke for years.
Yeah, me too.
She didn't believe. I was telling her the other day she didn't believe me that people can buy MiGs. You can go out and buy a fucking Russian jet if you want.
I was simply asking you a question. Name a law that would have prevented.
Oh my God. She wants every bullet to be $5,000.
Somebody's just going to make it themselves.
I agree. If you want to off somebody, you're going to really think about it.
Yeah, I got a friend that's got a neighbor that's, he sold this, like, he bought another house, he's trying to sell his house, and the neighbor's like a whack job. Got all kinds of junk in the yard, put signs out. And I remember hearing just a little snippet that you guys could help. But should I have to call a show, or?
Let me show you this. Neighbor has signs trying to sell. You think your guy's got a bad?
You should say it's down in Pueblo. This one. This is nut lady down in Pueblo.
Promises this is the net result of it on Denver's talk station. 630 UK.
Was it? Oh my God! I know who you're talking about.
That crazy
yeah, but
woman.
she's a legit craze.
Yeah, she's.
Oh,
this guy is too.
Let me find this one. This guy, every time he would try to sell the house.
I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. What's going on in your life? Frank Duran, the real estate man. If you're looking for real estate, if you're looking to
list your home, do you know Frank Duran has 4 times the listings as most brokers? You know why? Because he sells them quicker and for more money. He is one of the most active real estate brokers in the country. Why? Because he does such a great job. It's not by accident. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. If you're looking to sell a home, call him. If you're looking to buy, call him. 303-920-1622. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Okay, Beth called on Tuesday, and she had a problem. What was your original problem, Beth?
I had been told that my iPhone 8 had been delivered to the Flatiron Mall store. The store denied it.
And it was a Sprint. It wasn't a Sprint store, but they would not cooperate with you. They said you had to put in a police report. You said, wait a minute. It's not my phone yet. I don't even have the phone. Nothing was stolen from me. How do I put in a police report? They were being totally unreasonable.
And they were threatening me with the cost of the phone. This was the Sprint customer service that was doing all of that.
Oh, Sprint themselves was doing this.
Yeah, yeah.
How can they charge you for a phone you never got?
Right, right.
Then what?
Well, after you called them, the problem's resolved. I cannot thank you enough. They've tracked down what happened to the phone. It was actually sent to a different Sprint store. And I was able to pick it up tomorrow. Everybody was really nice. They were extremely helpful. I've got a workaround about Sprint customer service because that was the main thing. I didn't want to talk to their customer service rep again. But Sprint went out of their way after you called, and the store that wasn't responsible for anything threw in a new case and screen protector for the phone. So I really think everybody, after you called, everybody was really helpful. The problem's resolved. I'm very, very, very happy, and I can't thank you enough.
Oh, that's great. Now you can tell people about the Troubleshooter show.
Yes, I sure can and will.
Okay, thanks, Beth. Now, that's good news.
I can't stand Sprint. If we didn't get involved in that, nothing would have happened. I can't stand Sprint. Can't stand.
No, they suck. Jonathan, what's happening? Jonathan.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, man, what's going on?
Not much. So I heard that question about hospitals tending not to kind of provide any sort of breaks for those that are suffering from this. But my question is, with all these like blood drives going on, do the hospitals charge for all these blood transfusions that everybody are just donating blood for, or do you know anything about that?
I don't think anyone charges to draw the blood, right, when you donate.
No, but they charge it to give to people.
Well, as part of the, like if you go to the hospital and you need a transfusion, you pay for it.
Yeah, 20 grand. Whatever it is. You know it's going to be insane.
Well, I have no idea what it costs. But, Jonathan, of course, donated blood is, yes, there is a profit there for hospitals, yes. Is that what you're asking?
That is, and I just wasn't quite sure how much of a profit or if they take little...
I'm sure it's ungodly. Honestly, I'm sure it's ungodly.
Now, it has to be, they say processed and handled and used and administered, and I'm not going to sit in judgment of these people, but yes, you do pay for blood transfusions. You're thinking of the biblical adage, you receive free, so give free. But that is not the way it works, Jonathan. Glenn's got a comment on Vegas. Go ahead, Glenn. Glenn?
It's Brian here.
Oh, I'm sorry, Brian. Go ahead, Brian.
First off, I'd like to just say God bless them families and sympathies to anybody that had to deal with that nonsense.
Oh, God, it's terrible.
Second off, I really want to know where this country went wrong.
What do you mean?
Why are we blaming guns? Why we don't blame Jack Daniels when somebody goes down the road and dies. We blame that person. That was a psychotic, schizophrenic man, and he caused people families for the rest of their lives.
That is an interesting analogy he brings up. You never hear someone in court when the guy was drunk and killed people going, that damn bottle of vodka.
Well, hold on, though. Liquor is controlled. I mean, it's controlled.
Really
so are guns.
I can go to 3 different liquor stores and buy as much as I want.
Yeah, but what I mean is it's controlled as far as where it can be sold. It's controlled as far as age. It's controlled as far as, like, no open containers in cars. There's certain controls. Listen.
Well, let me ask you, what's that stop? If an alcoholic wants to get his hands on a bottle, he gets his hands on a bottle. There's no law in place that is going to change that. We need to come together as an American society, and we need to man up and be a brotherhood. Every lawmaker around is saying, oh, I'll make a law and make it better. We need to stand up against this and be a brotherhood, not fight against each other. That's what's going on now.
Well,
that
Brian,
guy didn't kill anybody.
Brian, I just said if someone truly could show me a law that would put an end to gun violence, I would be on the soapbox every day.
Yeah, but it would be substituted by a different form of violence. Don't you think? In countries where they aren't guns, what do the terrorists do now? They take a big truck and they roll it through a parade and kill a bunch of people.
Well, yeah, listen, people feel, when something happens, we feel like we need to do something. We give blood, we pray, we talk about it. We all feel we need to do something. And gun control is one of the first things we talk about when guns are used. And the popular thing is, the assault rifles. And, oddly enough, I can see, I at least I can understand that. I mean, banning and outlawing all guns is never going to happen. And again, it's not going to stop an outlaw from getting one. But the assault thing, I don't know. I mean, at least I can see part of that. If you have a gun that's capable of mass destruction, is it possible that making those guns scarce and hard to get or impossible to get, would it be less likely that they would get a hold of them, and maybe when you did have a shooter, he would go pop, 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 and maybe be caught before he does I mean, I'm just saying, is it possible that there would be less carnage? I don't know. But that's what people seem to be saying now. They're going after the assault-type rifles.
I think they would simply find a different way to do what they were trying to achieve.
Anyway, we have more to talk about. If you have a problem, question, or complaint, give us a call, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Brent Ivinson from Ideal Home Loans wants to talk about no-cost loans. No-cost loans. Brent.
The free lunch.
What's wrong with it?
Well, here's the problem. So, you know, this is as much a marketing ploy as it is anything else when you hear about this. So what people are simply doing is they are raising the interest rate that the borrower is getting to gain additional money on the loan when they sell it to cover their closing costs. So this can be as much as a $30,000 or $40,000 mistake for a lot of homeowners.
Really?
So, well, yeah, the idea of no cost sounds great, and people think, well, okay, that's got to be a good deal, and, well, the interest rate's only a little bit higher. You've really got to pay close attention to the math. When you look at what this will cost you over a 30-year mortgage, it is a ton of money to eliminate what is typically a net closing cost number when you factor in your payment and your escrow refund. You're typically looking at a couple $1,000s. You might be making a $38,000 mistake.
Wow. Brent Ivinson from Ideal Home Loans, the owner. Give him a call. If you're looking for a loan for your next Ideal Home Loan, they don't have stupid gimmicks. They'll be straight with you on exactly what you're paying for, where the fees are. They guarantee everything in writing. They have the interest rate guarantee. If they go down, they refinance you free of charge. Call for details on all of these programs. 303-867-7000. 303-867-7000. IdealHomeLoans.com.
This report is brought to you by Farmers Insurance.
We are farmers. A couple of big trouble spots on the highway drive in the metro area.
Michael Moore, the ugliest man in the world.
Does he truly believe they're going to repeal the Second Amendment? That's what he wants. So if there's no right to bear arms, then somebody's going to say, oh, I guess I can't find a gun.
Typical area as well.
So, for my friend, besides calling the police, what else can he do?
He needs to call the cops, because how this guy eventually handled it, the cops came out and he was breaking signs. See, I don't know exactly what your guy's doing, but he was breaking the laws of having signs. So every time he would put it out, the guy would take a picture, cops would hand him like a $500 ticket.
And that's what they've done that. They got the tickets, and he goes to court, and it gets dismissed.
Really? Why is he got
freedom of speech? And that's what they're fighting with the county about is, why are you dismissing? Why is this?
Why is the guy doing it?
You know, when they bought the house, the same thing happened. He's crazy. I mean, I've been there. I mean, he's a legit nut. Yeah, they jump over the yard and just whack. They got restraining orders against them.
I mean, honestly, I tried to break bread with the guy or olive branch it. I mean, then,
well, again, they got restraining orders. They've been to court for each other before.
You're wasting your money. Need cash to pay off high interest rate debt, or to do that home upgrade.
I don't know what you do. I mean, have them call in. How far away do you live?
And no mortgage
insurance. I mean, it's in
foreclosures and low rates. Take AIM 720-895-0500.
You know, he lives out
Find out why more Coloradans every day.
But this house, they can't sell. They've had something like 170 showings.
$300 now, and the opportunity for another $1,000. Call for details. Time is running out. 720-895-0500. NMLS 298191, regulated by DORA, equal credit lender.
Vacation in your plans? You can still listen to Tom Martino. Download the iHeartRadio app today.
I want to see that Kaepernick now put on his pig socks again after all these cops running towards the fire saving lives, you know.
Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK,
713-8255. Mark Szymanski is with us from Genesis Total Exteriors. Mark, the replacement windows that are solar, passive solar,
correct?
Do they have a separate solar panel in them?
Yeah. So
transparent?
It's not transparent. You can. It looks like a heavy-duty screen.
You can still have light.
Oh yeah, you have light, most definitely. And then that panel swings out or swings up.
So you can remove that panel if you want.
If you wanted to, right? And it's
not remove it, but
you have it open. Yeah, you can have it. It's like, oh, it's a beautiful day out. I don't want to be looking at through the screen. You just open that up all the way, and then you know, and that's still gathering electricity.
But when the screen is, it's always gathering electricity.
It's always gathering electricity. It doesn't matter what position it's in, and it actually can be on a timer to move it so it tracks the sun somewhat. It also has a sensor that if a windstorm hits, and so now you have this panel out and it's starting to get wiggled, it'll automatically shut for you.
But when it's shut, it actually is protecting your house from harmful UV. I mean, a lot of people put shades, not shades, or they put shades or they put tint on their windows.
Yeah, you figure it's a triple pane window because our inside window is a double pane, again, in extruded aluminum, and then the outside one is the solar panel. That's also that's in a piece of glass.
And even if you don't have a solar system, these are wired into the grid.
Correct.
So every minute they're absorbing sun, you're getting some kind of credit.
Correct.
So over time, a whole house full of windows will pay for itself.
Pay for themselves, correct.
And do you also get a solar tax credit?
Yes, you can. 30% tax credit on the bill.
No. So when you take the price of the window, not including the tax credit, just the raw price, is it more expensive than a normal window?
Well, it's close to a high-end window. The tax credit, which brings it back into the same cost as of a high-end,
okay,
one
so
of the big names.
Otherwise it would be really high-end, but with the tax credit, it brings the price down to what? To a really good window.
To a really good window.
But no more than a really good window.
Correct.
And then it continually generates credits.
Correct.
Have you done many yet?
Well, again, our first shipment's still coming.
Oh my God! You haven't even had. You don't.
So we have a whole container load coming to get them installed. So
okay, cool. If you have any questions on that, let us know. 303-713-TALK. Michelle would like to weigh in on Vegas. Go ahead, Michelle.
Hi guys, I just have a quick comment. Not so much about Vegas, but actually more regarding the assault rifle ban or something like that you brought up.
Go ahead.
No, there's no doubt that loss of human life is terrible, but I don't think banning assault rifles is the answer. Americans have guns for if and when the day comes where we have to defend our country and our families. And if and when that day comes, I want an assault rifle. Like, I don't want to have a single bolt-action rifle on top of a roof. I want to know that I have something to protect my family with.
You really feel that way? That's a possibility?
Most people do, Tom.
If that day ever comes, I want to have the proper machine to get out of the situation. And that's why we have that right, is because if that ever happens, us as an American, we're an armed population. Like, we can defend this country and our families.
Well, as soon as the second goes, the first follows.
Well, Michael Moore is calling for an abolishment of the Second Amendment.
That's outrageous. The only reason
I bet he made that announcement at a buffet.
So, here's the point: is that you're saying, I'm not saying I need my guns for hunting. I'm not saying anything but what it is. I want my guns to protect myself, even from my own government.
Most definitely. Isn't that why we have the Second Amendment? In case
originally, that's right. That's right. A well-armed militia.
Well, it's not just originally. That's why we have it.
Well, that's what I meant. Originally. That's originally why we have it. Ed, what is your comment?
Yeah, first of all, that Vegas is horrific and horrible, but people are wanting to take away the Second Amendment. We can't fix the problem of people being sick and wanting to do this, but you look at Chicago, for instance, who took away most people's Second Amendment rights and not allowing guns. Who kept them? The criminals.
God, it's the worst. It's a murder capital of the world. Well, maybe the world.
So we want to make the whole country that way? By
the way, I heard a statistic, I'm not sure if it's true, that machine guns, not this gun that guy had, but machine guns, the people were talking about them, have been used in 3 crimes since 1946. Now, I'm not, like I said, I heard that. I didn't look it up. Again, I'm letting people weigh in. It's something that people want to talk about.
What do you think what he said about that inner city, though? I mean, they really have probably the strictest gun laws in the country, and they have more murders per capita than anywhere else with guns.
I don't know.
Well, isn't that kind of weird?
Yeah. Keith? What's going on? Why are we more plagued with gun violence though than any other country per capita? Even if you go per capita, we're not simply the raw number.
Because how we were formed, the right to bear arms.
But why do we have more violence with the guns?
I don't think most countries have the amount of guns we do. That's why. Simple as that. I mean, that's a reality.
Well, then you're making an argument for not having guns, Mark.
Exactly.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No,
you just said they don't have as many guns.
It's because how the country was formed. We were formed because we were shooting the British out. We'd hide in trees, they'd call us terrorists, and we'd shoot at them when we saw the red of their eyes coming.
Keith, what is your comment?
Well, I'm looking at it at a different view. It's not so much what we do with gun control, tax and ammunition or anything. This guy out there in Vegas had over $100,000 worth of firearms. I don't think any kind of taxation on ammo would have stopped this. My opinion on it's not so much an assault weapon. It's a semi-automatic. You take a MAC-90, for example, which is a replica of an AK-47. It's a semi-automatic weapon. Yes, it holds a different caliber, but it's no different than a Marlin 22 semi-automatic, except the shells are bigger and stuff like that. I think it's more of a medical or a mental thing. You look at all these cases, of the school shootings, the theater shooting. Usually these people have some kind of mental disorder. They're on antidepressants and things like that. I think we're taking a different approach. Instead of going after the guns, we need to look at the medical part of it, the mental part.
You mean as to who should own? I don't think this guy showed any pathology, did he?
The last report I heard here just a few hours ago said that his girlfriend came back and said that he was put on antidepressants back in June.
Yeah, but I think half the country's on antidepressants, and they don't do what this nut does.
I know, but what he's saying is maybe take a look at people as opposed to guns, the people who own guns. Maybe I don't know how you screen for that, though. Don?
Yes, good afternoon, Tom. I'd like to point out something that I think a lot of people are missing. I'm not sure if anybody's been paying attention to what's happening in Spain, but over the weekend, the Spanish government sent in about 16,000 riot policemen. And over the weekend, these people were trying to have a vote to secede from Spain. And in the process, over 700 of them were beat up and sent to the hospital.
Yeah, it was bad, man. It was kind of like Brexit, but the government didn't want the vote to happen. It was unbelievable, honestly.
Yeah, well, I want to ask a question. If those people were as heavily armed as we are, would that have even entered the mind of the Spanish government?
No. Do you think our politicians, when they're in the halls of Congress, act because they're afraid of being shot by the armed population?
No.
I mean, I don't think it ever enters into their minds. And I don't think most gun owners have guns because they're afraid the government is going to turn on us. I'm not saying that wasn't the original purpose. I'm saying right now, in today's day, I doubt that most gun owners actually feel like they're going to have to defend themselves against the government.
Let's look at Mexico real quick.
And at what point do you defend yourself against the government? Because there are a bunch of people all over the country that have tried to do that. They have holed up in ranches and farms and said, we have to defend ourselves against the country, and the country went in, or the military, or the police went in and killed them all.
Waco,
or, I mean,
Ridge.
What I'm saying is, at what point do you flip sides from the government being in the right to the people behind the fence holed up in that ranch house being in the right? Seriously, at what point do you make that decision?
A lot of people struggle with that.
Do we feel like all of a sudden there's going to be an announcement, okay, today it's okay to shoot our government, and today it's okay to rebel? No, seriously, when do you know when the rebellion is right and when the rebellion is wrong? I mean, people say, I want to be armed for when our country goes crazy and we have to defend ourselves against the government.
Or to protect from other people, too, though.
Okay,
I mean, you can't just throw one thing out there.
But that argument, the argument has been made time and time again that we have to defend ourselves against our government, and all I'm asking is, when will you know the right time? When will you know the time to take up an arm against your government? Because so many people have tried already, and most of us march in line with the government. So at what point do you not? Then the other thing is about foreigners invading our country. I think we do a pretty good job in the military department. I doubt anyone would ever have to go up on their roof and defend Colorado. I'm just saying.
Red Dawn.
Exactly,
Red Dawn.
I'm saying that those arguments are not as valid as they once were. You know, I know that's what people resort to. We got to defend against tyranny. We have to defend against foreign invaders. I understand what we're saying.
Who has the guns in Mexico?
Well,
who?
So what?
The drug cartel. None of their citizens can have them, and they have. I mean, my God, these people run around murdering people all the time.
Well, what's that?
My point is,
drug cartel problem.
their people don't have guns to protect themselves.
And their citizens
And most
are not
of those
going around shooting
most
up
of those
people
cartels
at
are probably
concerts.
run by the Mexican government.
You know, the only thing that confuses me in this discussion, I'm like discussing baseball and strategy. This is the analogy. And then Mark talks about peanut butter and jelly. It's like not even in the same universe.
Not true.
You don't even have the same universe when we talk.
I disagree with you.
We have more coming right up. Rocky's Autos, 63rd and Federal. If you're looking for a used car, truck, SUV, or van, you will find the largest selection at Rocky's at any given time. If you've been there and say, I already saw it, you got to go again, because it changes that quickly. Now, if you are shopping, shop, but then put Rocky's on the list to compare their prices, to compare their financing options. They have 40 lenders to choose from, and the variety that you find. But go shopping, then stop at Rocky's Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8. 303-426-4646.
This report is brought to you by the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer. Let's start off with the good news. Some improvements
On the drive downtown, northbound I-25 approaching 6th Avenue. It looks like that crash is cleared out of the way. Traffic flow is improving quite a bit on the front end of that stretch. No residual backups to Downing.
You know, that did sound weird. It didn't sound like an ordinary machine gun, right?
But it was faster than that, though. They could go up to 800 rounds a minute.
They can do
800 rounds.
That's what I thought.
Well, let me read it again. Maybe I'm wrong.
That's what AR
said it.
Said it.
No, I think you practice that.
800 rounds a minute?
700, something like that.
The barrel will still.
No. I'm saying that's the rate.
Oh, yeah, but it'll do that.
As I hear it, Mark, the cadence of those firings was like this.
That sounds like
A little faster, but you're right. It was like, yeah.
No,
it wasn't like a Tommy gun.
It was
solution. Help clean up that mess.
If the heavy caliber or slower,
that's what it was.
Okay, this says.
I would say.
Pretty sure. Yeah, right here.
How do you
These
know?
mods allow shooters to fire up to 800 rounds per minute
Mark, did they discuss
by using the pump from the rifle's recoil.
Did they discuss that's what he had?
It was on.
They found 2 rifles.
No, it's worse than that. They found them on half the guns that were in the room.
How is it installed?
It's a stock. You take your old stock off, you put your new stock on. You know, the part that goes up on your shoulder, the stock.
And just hold the your trigger down.
Picture a stock that has a spring right here, so it recoils like this. You hold this forward, so you hold the gun pushing out. You hold the trigger here. So basically, you're really firing like this. And then every time the coil goes off, your arm's doing this.
It's crazy.
800 times a minute.
And I read articles
800 times a minute.
That does seem
That's what it says.
800 times a minute is. That's more than 10 rounds a second.
They said a semi-automatic.
10 rounds in a second.
A good guy can shoot. It says a good guy with just his finger, no bump stock, can shoot 120 in a minute. And this will allow him to go up to 800 rounds per minute.
I can do a second. That seems reasonable.
I gotta get it just to try it.
800. I bet he practiced. I mean, it's got to be one of these things he practiced.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Oscar, I don't know what you're calling about. What is it? Oscar?
Yeah. I was wondering if you know a shop that installs convertible tops. I have a BMW Z4 2006.
You know, that's a good point. Somebody who would install convertibles, you know, the top. This is a replacement top. Why wouldn't a normal dealer, BMW dealer, do it?
Well, they generally like to go with their product itself.
I think Michael's Auto Body would do that.
Is this an aftermarket?
Well, yeah, you might say that, yeah.
So I think that Mark is correct. A body shop, a good body shop.
I know Michael's does it.
Okay, what's their number?
Is it on the referral list?
Yeah, they're on the referral list. I don't have it pulled up.
If you go to referrallist.com and look for, just search Michael's or Michael's Auto Body. Who is that, Suzanne? I don't see it.
That's Michael's number, 303.
Oh, okay, thank you. I got it now. 303-660-3425. 303-660-3425. All right. And let's talk to Tom. Tom, go ahead, sir. What's going on?
Hi. Yeah, I just had a comment on as far as a current example of when using a gun to protect yourself is useful. Look at like say the LA riots or Ferguson or something. People are rioting, stores are getting smashed and burned. The store owners who are there protecting their property with rifles are the only shops that weren't destroyed. The police and the government were doing nothing.
Okay, thank you. That's a point, okay? And let's talk to Michael. You. Go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, hey, Tom. And I wanted to point out that most of the guns that people are trying to ban are not the ones that are committing the most murders in a year's time. You have more people being killed by handgun violence than by what they call assault weapons.
So what are you saying? That all guns should really be off the shelf?
No, sir, what I'm saying is that the outcry...
Oh, I see what you're saying. The outcry of assault rifles. Yeah, but wouldn't you say when assault rifles or automatic weapons are involved, there's a potential for more death?
That's true, but I don't see that as being the epidemic that's actually going on out there that nobody...
I know what you're saying. You're saying if they ban all assault rifles or all assault weapons, the epidemic is really with the smaller calibers anyway. I don't know that, but I mean, you know, again, I've not really gotten on a bandwagon one way or the other. Nick, go ahead, sir.
Hey, Tom, how you doing today?
Good, man. What's happening?
Hey, you know, I just wanted to call about the shooting in Vegas. You know, I've been sitting here on Facebook and, you know, listening to all the Facebook pundits and go rounds and rounds and rounds and rounds. And I hear a lot of falsehoods and inaccuracies about what people really think is going to change things. The guns aren't the problem. That's like a fat person blaming the spoon for being fat. It's really just not the issue. You know,
damn hamburgers.
Exactly. You know, I blame Mickey D's for being a chunky monkey, but in the end, it's my personal responsibility. The fact is you know, like, you know, Suzanne, you know, she mentioned raising the price of bullets. Well, I don't know. I'm an avid shooter. I'm a big gun guy.
Yeah.
You know, 22 LR was very expensive for a long time. So given that ideology, it should have meant people would buy less of it, right? Wrong. People just bought bigger bulk of it to stock up on it. You know, raising the prices, stuff like that. What we need more in this society is an education coming from the home, starting with parents, teaching kids values and morals, teaching people not to get their information from Facebook. You know, there's a lot of falsehoods running around about guns, assault rifles. You know, I had somebody tell me AR-15 stands for Assault Rifle 15. It does not. AR stands for Armalite Rifle Model 15.
Okay. So, Michael, I don't think I took you. Michael? Did I take you, Mike? Michael? I'm not waiting. 303-713-8255. Suzanne, who's on line 10? Is that an issue?
It's Katrina with a CenturyLink problem.
Katrina, what's happening? Katrina?
Yes.
What's going on?
Well, just with their pricing. So I got...
Oh, did they quote you one price and ended up being another one, right?
Yes.
Whoa, my God. Just, you know, Katrina, don't be surprised that we guessed it, because everyone that calls about CenturyLink has the same problem.
It's really amazing.
It's amazing that these people get paid to lie.
Yeah, and then I've talked to 2 different people. Managers, they even gave me a credit to honor that price and then get my new bill.
Okay, we need to, let's take her tomorrow and take this up again. GenesisTotalExteriors.com. Don't forget, exteriors and interiors, home improvements, 303-679-8509. Genesis. And save all your problems for me. Ideal home loans for your next
pot shop down. The guy would shoot up his house each night. The sheriff would come out and they would do nothing. It was an incredible story.
These guys have been up there for a long time. Just my neighbor up there.
He remembered it. It was huge. When it broke out on 2020, I went up to play poker at this place called Lily Bell's that weekend. And man, the whole town was talking about it. But that's what